This episode of An Unexpected Podcast is brought to you by Frodo's Lost Finger. Thank you.
This episode of An Unexpected Podcast was brought to you by Dan Jones. Thank you.
Hello, friends, and welcome to An Unexpected Podcast. I'm Lane.
And I'm Ez.
And we're talking Tolkien.
We're coming to you from Door and Shield Studios in the Shire of America, the beautiful state of Ohio, in a little village called Amanda.
This week, we find ourselves in a land we've been in before with some friends who aren't the same as when we left them.
Wow. It's an exciting land.
Yeah.
And
full of life, full of
water,
light,
and
a little bit of, just that other thing, the magic.
The stuff, yes.
The magic is there as.
It is there. It's a good place to be. And it's also like, well, I was even telling you, I mean, on the way down here, I feel like it's a nice day out.
Yeah.
It's going to be a nice warm weekend for us.
You mean here in real life?
Here, in real life.
Sometimes I get confused about, are we talking about Middle Earth or are we talking about real Earth?
I'm terrible at transitions. But we're having a good time, and it feels like a lighter.
I feel like a weight lifted, honestly.
Yeah.
Do you?
It actually, like, the pressure was building to get to Mount Doom, and one
like the zit on Taylor Swift's back.
Yeah, that's a story.
Just mounting.
Those are
ready
real.
to pop.
Those are real, by the way. Those are real.
Those? I thought it was multiple.
I only saw one, but I mean, there may have been more. I don't know. Oh, no, that's a story. You have to go check that story out. But yeah, I don't know. It feels really good. This was a good chapter, and like coming down here, I felt good. And I to be honest, last week, like there was a pressure. I wanted to do. I don't know what it was. It was just something, and it was also I couldn't believe that we had got to Mount Doom.
Yeah, I know.
I couldn't believe that happened. Yeah. So yeah,
and
hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I know it's enjoy is not really the right word because it's just like it's a tough chapter to get through and to do, and it just I don't know.
Yeah, but you're right. Strangely enjoyable.
Yeah,
like just it's because it's like that climax and it's the payoff and. We get to blow up some of those smaller moments and just make them last longer and think about like exactly what's going on or what we think is going on.
We wanted to truly appreciate what they were going through and the struggle. Yeah. Right. I think in the past I've read that so fast, and honestly, I've told you, like we said, like you said, you hadn't been this excited about Frodo and Sam.
Oh,
since back in Fellowship or something, or with the breaking of the Fellowship. Dude. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, it's a long time.
I mean, I'm sure I'll say it again, but that is my new favorite chapter of this entire series, and my favorite characters not even in it. Like, it's just, I don't know. There's something. I don't know. Maybe it's because we're revisiting it at a different point in life. Yeah. That it hits in a different way. But I'm just like, geez, and it drew my attention back to Frodo, and like how strong Frodo is. Yeah, Frodo's so like only he could have done what, and he did it exactly how he was supposed to.
Yes, he did.
And, sparing Gollum's life was a part of that. I think we separate those two things. That was all part of the same thing. Going back to anytime Gollum's life has been spared in the past, not even necessarily by Frodo, just that is part of the process of the entire thing. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, and honestly, I like there has not been a chapter, I don't think yet, maybe going back to Council, the Council of Elrond, but maybe that one where we kind of the next episode we're still talking about the previous episode. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Or chapter, if you will. So because we were talking about it before today, and I think we're still thinking about it. And right, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, it's kind of stuck there a little bit.
Real lasting impression.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but 100%. what have you? Yeah. How you been, my friend? You been all right?
Doing good. Doing really, really good. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Also interesting that you're talking about how this weekend's going to be warm. It's kind of it's cool that we're almost in the same time of year that our story is too.
We are. That's right.
We've done that. We've crossed paths a couple times as we've read, but it's cool that the climax of the story is kind of almost where we are right now. It's starting to warm up. We're a month away from end of March, Charlotte's birthday.
Yeah.
Life's good. I mean, it's busy, it's crazy right now, but I'm I mean, what's new? We had ultrasounds for crotch root number 3.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hidden from us again. He or she, definitely a she though.
Yeah.
100%.
Right.
Actually, both ultrasound techs have said, they're like, do you want to know? Do you want to know? We're like, no, we don't want to know. You know.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And then they go on to use the pronoun she or her. And I'm like, you just told me.
You just told me. Yeah.
You just told me.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine. It's okay.
Right.
It's okay.
Right.
But that's like one of your jobs is to not tell me.
Right.
You say it or baby. Just say baby.
Right.
Baby's head is here. Look, there's baby's hand.
Yeah.
You know, sounds like you're talking like Patrick Swayze, but you know, it's just one of those things. Baby's in a corner. So, no, but just, dude, I don't know. It's great. That just getting ready for baby number 3 coming. What else? School's crazy right now. I'm ready for summertime. Yeah. I'm ready for summer for a little change of pace. And, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Just,
I hear you. No, it's
good. Life's good.
It is good. Life is good. And gosh, even before Mount Doom, we were excited. I mean, I've been excited just about some of the things going on in my life, transitions coming up.
Yeah, man. Straight ketoing.
Yeah, I am. Oh man, you guys, I'm actually gonna cut that all up because it's some good stuff. Before,
it's hilarious.
Before the show, we had a funny little conversation, and I let's just say I could podcast all night, my friend. I got energy like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, you do, man.
It is.
You got Lane Smith energy.
I am willing to. Yeah.
Wait, are you sapping it for me? Is that what's in the back of my throat?
I don't know, dude. Might have sent my little guy over.
Dude, it's just he's clogged up back there.
Oh no, my guy's in the back.
Oh my gosh.
I am done. And I don't mean to lead us down like
I may have sent my little guy to the back.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord bless us. All right. So I'll try to right the ship here after that.
Keterden, the shipwright.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, yeah, I'm trying. I don't know. I'm trying to find words. Life's great though. Like rugby's about to start back up.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a blast. School, like I said, we got like a quarter and a half left. I'm finally like being able to do some things with my kids in my classroom that I love. That doesn't feel like mandated stuff. It's like I'm starting to be able to flex a little creativity. It's been a really challenging year, honestly, to going from what I was doing before for a few years to a totally different position. And I think like people, I have a weird personality. Like I want to learn stuff on my own and then fail and be able to learn from it. But I like people checking out on me every once in a while, just so I know that they know that I'm also like doing this for the first time in a way. And I haven't really had many people like, I think they assume I'm doing fine.
Right.
You know what I mean? And most days I am, but some days I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
Like I need a little bit of guidance. I need a little bit of perspective. And so I've missed that a little bit, but that's been the hardest part of this year. I mean, what else, dude? What else is going on?
Well, okay. I mean, we have to do a few updates. I think we can kind of talk about.
We do. Yeah, we do.
Is that okay to talk about now and just kind of roll
sure.
through?
Other corners of Middle Earth, bring it up.
Yeah. Oh, is that where I didn't? Yeah. Okay. We can save it if you want to. I mean,
document.
Yeah. Sure. It's just it's in there. Okay. Well,
send your little guy back there.
We got some. Oh Lord, let me send him over there. No, but we got some. We have some cool things. I guess we'll talk about here in a sec. But in general, but I'll say this: I'm excited for those things, and I'm excited for this spring, spring break. Yep. I'm going to Scotland when the school year is over.
Yeah,
cannot wait. My dad is extremely excited about that. And I wanted to mention, I haven't said this yet, but I now know when I'm going and where we're going, and we're kind of working.
Yeah, you got an itinerary in your state, dude. Your Airbnbs look sick,
right? I got the castle view.
Oh my gosh, cool, man!
Right. So I was thinking if there are any uppers over there. My dad even said, when like the last couple of nights, like. He's like, if people want to meet up here in the city, or whatever.
Are you ending in Edinburgh?
Yeah, I am. Oh. Yeah. So like, I think we're gonna be 2 or 3 nights there. I think.
That's awesome, man.
So that should be kind of cool, and then we'll fly out of there. But I thought, maybe just in case. I mean, it's not often that you're in it's not like it's the States where we can just drive around and do whatever. It's a pretty big flight and what have you. So I thought, if anybody's over there and you want to meet up or whatever, we can.
What do you like? Have you had time to process it? What are you most excited for the trip? Father-son time?
Yeah, I think that we're going to bring a couple just cameras and stuff. And I think it's just going to be like us talking. And I even said, Dad, just even on the drive, I want to put a camera. Like I want to dash cam and hands free to see.
And even maybe the road, or getting your view too.
Both, yeah.
Sweet.
So we can see, what we were like our reaction to it, and then also, so get a couple GoPros, and I think that'll be kind of fun. We'll see.
Nice, man.
See if I can fasten them there, but it's gonna be different driving on it.
Driving
is going to be different.
Yeah,
and my dad is all. Like he's like,
is he freaked out about
it? That's on you. He's like, it's on you. I will help you. I will keep saying, like, I think there's a phrase you keep repeating yourself, like left. So it's like you have to remind yourself. Yeah,
dude. And after I came back from New Zealand, I only drove a few times. Like this was back in college.
Yeah.
When I came back home, I was driving. I remember Sugar Street where we lived.
Yeah.
I was on the left side of the road for like 3 or 4 blocks before I realized it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was so weird because I was there for like a couple months. I was just used to seeing, we're on the left side, drivers on the right. Yeah, left turn, there's no problem. Right turn, you got to watch oncoming. It's weird how, especially if you're driving that much, which you probably will be. I mean, you'll probably be good 8 days of you driving.
Yeah,
probably at least once a day.
Yeah.
I wonder what will happen when you come back.
Oh man, that's good.
Get rid of that other side view.
It's a little crazy, and that's sort of why I think my dad's like, it's on you. Yeah, I don't know. When we can use public transportation over a big city, we definitely will. But I think the Isle of Skye. He is super excited about that and wanting to go there, and I am too. I think it'll be really neat. But even awesome, just like the little stuff. So
I bet you're maybe not, but like for me, those trips, the stuff I'd never planned and didn't even know, end up being the best memories.
Yeah.
Like stuff you didn't know was going to happen. It's just like, oh my gosh, that was so random. And
right.
The weather that day was so unexpected. And it was like we're talking about, the unexpected journeys are the ones that they last with you because you didn't try to plan them. You didn't plan them. You didn't even know they were going to happen. They're surprises.
Yeah.
And I love that because I'm the same way. Like anytime we go on a trip, I'm like, we're going to go this, see this. And every time those aren't the things. So when other people ask for a lot of times people will ask in the group on tips for New Zealand. Where should I go? What should I see? And my favorite thing to say is allow some time to just go get lost in an adventure, like something unplanned. Have a couple days where it's just you go out and you find stuff.
Right.
Where there is no plan, because those sometimes like end up being the best.
Yeah. And truly, so my dad, like his big thing is people.
Oh, dude.
It's crazy, too. Like, you would think all the sites, the castles and stuff, right?
Yeah,
he wants to see all that. But it's like he's looking for it. He's like, I have a feeling we're going to meet some real good people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, yeah. I mean, that's a great, like he wants to talk to the locals. He wants to go into the locals and talk to them and ask questions about their place.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, wouldn't we like that? Like we like that when people come to, our hometown or whatever. And like, well, what's to see around here or what, whatever. So I don't know. I think that's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's just exciting. I guess I'm kind of like wanting to fast forward to that, but at the same time, just prepping, and we have a lot of other things, little things in between. So yeah. But okay,
it's good stuff, my man.
Yeah.
This is my line. Dropping Eves. Drop some Eves.
Dropping Eves. I'm down.
Okay, so I think last 2 episodes ago we talked about all of the. That big actor confirmation of all these actors and actresses that are confirmed. It was like 15, I think. Wide range of backgrounds, wide range of ages, and just got us really excited. Some of them we had known before, and we have character names attached to them. Others are just, there's this actress, there's this actor, they're cast, they're in. And it's leaving us, guessing and just anticipating. So wonderful nuggets again. And always from the Amazon show, LOTR on Prime.
Well, I just want to say, did you see any of the? I was trying to pull them up here for us. Mm-hmm. The set photos or anything?
What?
Some of the so I follow the hashtags, right? I follow anybody who hashtags like LOTR on Prime, Lord of the Rings.
You're blowing my mind.
Or whatever. I'm trying to find it, but somebody snuck a photo of, and gosh, this was just the other day, and if anybody can find it or wants to tag Lane and I in it, it was nothing super spoiler. It was literally just where they had marked off what looked like a launching place or a pad out into the countryside, and they were filming.
Got an audition video leak.
Really?
Beldor, I hoped I'd find you here. This vintage is said to heal many unseen sorrows of the heart. Eldian, some sorrows are not meant to be healed. Beldor, you deserve the honors of this day and the rest it promises. Eldian, I always believed I'd rest here, with them. Yet instead, I am to leave them? I who loved and remembered them best? Beldor, you have brought them justice. The battle is over. Eldian, not for me it isn't. If I could but have a long boat of warriors to sweep up through the western vale of the great Beldor, you have nothing further to prove. Your victories against evil are immortalized. Eldian, you are blessed, Beldor. For you, evil is pictures set in a glass of the cathedral windows. But I have fought the nameless dark. The blood of dragons is ever well sated in my sword, and if I don't finish the task, all will be in vain. Beldor, put up your sword, Eldian. The evil is gone. Eldian, then why is it still alive in here? Points at her heart. Could fate be ever so cruel as to give me the victory over all the horrors of the war, yet keep it alive in here to take with me unchanged, unending, unbreaking to the land of the winterless spring? Okay.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I have not seen the leaked photos. Well, but that's leaked from the audition tapes. And Beldor is one of our confirmed characters.
Seriously.
Yeah. So this kind of leads into what the only things I was going to bring up are a couple Looper articles.
Yeah.
Is Looper a credible source?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't even know. But anyway, they have just a couple of cool, no leaks or anything like that, but just interesting conversation pieces. So one of them is things fans want to see in Amazon's Lord of the Rings prequel. And it just kind of highlights a few things that, we as fans would be intrigued by. So the forging of the One Ring would be one thing. The history of all the other rings would be another. Sauron's rise to power, of course. That'd be awesome. Getting a glimpse of and meeting Anatar, Sauron's angelic form, and getting to see. We talked about this. Getting to see Sauron as a lord in Middle Earth, as a ruler, as a power in full.
Yeah.
The creation of the Black Riders, or their transformation, or summoning, or the settling of Rivendell and the Grey Havens. So seeing them even maybe built.
Yep.
Hadn't thought about that. That's pretty good. Galadriel, Celeborn, and their life outside of Lothlorien. So their time before. And they're longer. These are just the headings of each one. Kind of details what all, seeing Khazad-dûm in action. So Khazad-dûm still alive, and Moria, right? Still functioning.
Right.
Yeah, pretty interesting. The creation of Numenor, obviously, we've talked about that. Settling of Numenor. The romance of Aldarion and Arendis. What else? Mankind versus Sauron. The fate of Numenor. I mean, this is just, there's all these hypotheticals.
Right.
The reshaping of the world. Is that how you could start?
Maybe. Yeah, sure.
Holy cow.
That'd be cool.
The founding.
It would almost be like what they do sort of in Fellowship, right? You could go back just a little bit, like a hair.
Well, we talked about that, you know. Yeah.
But just a hair. I mean, maybe you do it right at the start, and you technically say that's the start. You
well, because that is kind of a sort of a
gray
not
area.
A gray area, but I mean, like, how does one age end? I mean, where exactly does that age begin? I guess I don't know. You'd have to ask Tom Shippey. The founding of Gondor and Arnor. Yeah, it's good stuff. Giving us like a prequel of The Last Alliance even. Man, this is great stuff. Okay, and then there's one more. This is just Lord of the Rings characters or Middle Earth characters we'd like to see in the series. Tom Bombadil.
You're right. Yes, I saw someone actually post this somewhere in the not this article, but like something about Tom Bombadil.
Yeah,
and I was like, well, let's go. That's actually pretty cool.
Elendil would be another one. Celebrimbor. Sauron as Anatar, of course. Ar-Pharazôn, who I don't even know who that is, dude. I'd have to look that up. Gil-galad would be sweet.
Yeah.
Glorfindel.
Yeah.
Right. Círdan.
Okay.
The Blue Wizards.
Yeah, some people. Yeah.
The Witch King. Get the Witch King in there. I wonder what would be. What would be the extent of the Blue Wizards? I wonder, man. There's a lot of. Are there creative liberties you could take with the Blue Wizards?
Maybe. I think the idea was that did they come earlier, or was there something that you could?
Because Tolkien didn't write much about them, right?
No, yeah. The mystery as to where they.
So I wonder where
they went or what they did,
like what the leniency is there. Like what are they allowed to do?
Yeah,
that's crazy, huh?
Maybe, yeah. I saw someone somewhere talk about it being hinted that they had dealings there earlier, and so I don't know.
Be cool to see. The real question is, Post Malone as Tom Bombadil. You in favor?
I think that's a go. I really do. This is great. And by the way, I'm sorry, literally my internet, I can't even pull up the doc anymore. It's great.
Seriously? Oh,
yeah,
sorry,
internet's
dude.
down. It's okay.
That's not good.
But I remember you had you had Goldberry drawn on. You had what else did you have on there?
Got Bill the Pony.
Bill the Pony, that's right.
Hey Dole, Mary Dole. You got the Old Forest.
Right,
Brandywine River. He's all
gosh.
tatted up, baby. All
that's
tatted
awesome.
up.
I could see old, Tom Bombadil. Yeah.
So good stuff. Let us know. Facebook group conversation, Instagram DMs, whatever, emails. What would you like to see? If you could pick one character, maybe we'll start a thread, and you can comment on that. Who's the one character that you want to see, you have to see in this show?
Yeah.
If you had one that you said, gotta have him, gotta have her.
Right.
Who would it be? In other corners of Middle Earth, we got a few happenings. The LEP3 Facebook event is out. I haven't checked it recently, but I think we were around 40 or 50 confirmed uppers.
Wow.
Which is crazy. More details coming there. There is a cool update. So there was some conversation back and forth between Nicole Whitaker, Jess Denboer, Melanie, about getting matching tattoos.
Yeah.
Because I think we started that idea. And they were like,
I think you started.
Nicole was like, hey, well, are we getting matching tattoos? And I was like, let's see how we can make this happen.
Right.
And so I reached out to an artist who is in Columbus, and had seen he really does really good work, wide variety of stuff, and was eventually going to reach out to him when I ever have money again for tattoos to do some more for myself, and said, hey, this is what's going on. Gonna have a big party. People from all over the country, Lord of the Rings fans, were wanting to get matching tattoos, or like a set of pick one of 5 kind of a deal.
Sure.
He said, love the idea. I was afraid I wouldn't hear back from him, because tattoo artists can be very personable. They're like anybody, or they can be, kind of like huge egos.
Sure.
Nah, that's not my bag. They can pick their own thing,
Yeah.
Got back to me. His message was wonderful, very gracious. He said, this is my schedule. Pop in sometime so we can talk more details and bring ideas.
Okay.
I was like, all right, so this is happening.
Oh, man.
So ideas that were thrown around were, the Elvish runes for 9, which is what the Fellowship all got. They all got matching tattoos. Thought of some LEP ones that maybe we could put out there, and then gonna come up with a few others. So we're gonna try and get like 4 or 5 different designs.
God, dude, it's crazy.
And then I don't know if we can set up like a window of time on a day where if you can get to the studio, the tattoo studio, get there. And I would love to record if we could, like even if we could do a short interview with him while he's tattooing, if he doesn't mind, or in between or whatever, and talk to him about what's going on and get you inked up, of course.
Dude, is this real? Is this real?
You gonna have like flannel wizard over the brows? Dude, I mean, what's going on?
I don't know. Like
you said something on your wrist. What were you thinking?
Well, no. I mean, I guess if I If I get pressured enough.
You get the G rune?
No, that would be cool. That'd be cool.
Which one would you get if you had?
I actually really like what you sent the doc. I showed Iowa, or you sent me like a picture of the ones that you had looked at or whatever that you had sent to him, and
the lines.
It took me a second. I thought, okay, there are 9, and I'm like, what is the difference in the height?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, there's the Hobbits.
Dude, you pointed that one out to me. I didn't even understand what that was. I was like, frequency.
Right. There's all the different, they're represented in height.
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of
just by little lines.
Yeah. And so I think it's cool. Okay, that's subtle.
Yeah.
I could maybe do something like that.
Would you get the fellowship or would you get the company?
The fellowship probably. Yeah.
Good choice. Less lines.
Yeah. You're right.
Less pain.
Yeah. Less pain.
I think you're gonna cry.
I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna cry. I don't think I put a Winnie there. God bless her. I love her. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I'm nervous.
It'll be cool. It'll be awesome.
I'm nervous, dude.
Well, I'll hold your hand through the whole thing.
Do I have to do it? If everybody else does,
I think you're gonna fall to pressure, bro. Whether you want to or not.
Crazy. That's crazy.
You'll never regret it.
I know. I hear it's bad to get it on your foot, but couldn't I just get it like somewhere like really small?
Foot wasn't too bad. The weirdest place for me was my back.
Really?
Because I couldn't see when it.
I thought that was a good thing. I thought that was a good spot to get it.
Maybe, but for me, if I can see what's going on, I can associate the visual with the pain. It's like, all right, I know. Yeah, he's going in now. Yeah, okay. Or she, whoever's tattooing. Yeah,
How
there it is.
How painful is it?
No, it's not. I mean, it's not bad. I like the pain though. Removal is worse. I'll tell you that much. I've had to have some lightened removed to get them covered up, and that was not fun.
You've had a tattoo covered up
twice.
Nah. Wait, because it didn't come out the way you wanted, or because?
Yep.
Okay.
Because I thought I could go cheap.
I get you there.
And
that's
you
fine.
can't go cheap, unfortunately.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I thought it was like some embarrassing thing back in the day. Like
I mean, yeah, it said LBPT.
But okay.
Right on the spot. But no. But so anyway, that's gonna happen. I mean, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna go meet with him within the next couple of months. I think pick like a Saturday afternoon where I can go during nap time with the girls and go talk to him and just say, hey, could you do like, if people came in, could they pick one of 4 designs? Could we have like a window, pay you for a window or whatever, and then people could pay for their own tattoos? And yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
It's a step up.
It's gonna be awesome.
This is crazy.
And I'm thinking maybe like Friday evening, so that way no one's missing time at the party on Saturday, and then it's not on Sunday when we're kind of everyone saying the final farewells and stuff.
So like Friday evening, and then we go out for dinner. After
right? Yeah. Friday evening, go get inked, and then meet at the village.
Jeez.
We'll all be wrapped in plastic, keeping our tattoos from getting infected.
I'm getting nervous.
So yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Yes, so that's going on. Also, we're going to Fan Expo Dallas 2020.
Yep, we will
be there at the was at the end of March, last weekend in March.
Yeah,
we're going because a lot of you guys know, you've been talking about it. The 4 Hobbits are having a reunion there. So Sean Astin, Elijah Wood, Dom Monahan, and our number 1 Billy Boyd is going to be there.
Yep.
So we are gonna go. We're gonna go hang out, try and meet him, talk to him if we can. If not, we'll get our picture with him, and it'll
be fun.
It'll be a lot of fun. Be a lot of fun.
Yep.
In other corners as well, go check out Tara's blog. It is amazing. I haven't been able to read it. I've just been inundated with other stuff. But she recently posted an update, and I was like, I just need to click on it and save it in my Safari so I can go back and read it when I have time. Mm-hmm. And her photos are incredible.
Yes.
Her writing's amazing. Her journey is so cool, and I think it inspire a lot of other people to do a similar thing, whether it's in the future or near or far.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're just out there, she and George and the dogs just traveling, it's incredible. It's inspiring.
It is inspiring. Yeah.
And she's an amazing photographer.
Yeah.
Beautiful photos. Yeah. And so it's a visual and literary treat. Like, it's great.
I'll tell you something else too. Just a little nugget for folks.
Yeah.
Tara's got a good laugh.
Great laugh.
I had told her that, and I wanted to,
laugh.
and we got a little busy in Texas, and
what in the world, dude?
Oh, I need to. What's happening?
Can't wait to get in the car, man. I have so much to unload on you.
Oh my god. It's something with Texas, man.
It's whenever like Tara or Jess are mentioned, you just
fall apart. I fall apart. Anyways, isn't that a Post Malone song? I fall apart.
I fall apart. Wow,
Okay,
I was way off key there.
But yes.
Yes.
But like, yeah, she's just good to be around, good people, and it was really unexpected. It was nice. We got to see her in Texas.
Yeah, in cool. Rohan, y'all. That's right. So so we'll be able to see our friends down in Texas, Chase and Philip Willis and
whoever else. Yeah, once like if you're in that area, or if you're going to see
Rebecca
the Four Hobbits.
Robney come out.
Yeah.
And Audra, and so it's great, and see Katie and all our friends again. It'd be really cool. If you're going there, let us know. We'll be walking around with t-shirts on, like a couple of ding dongs, and probably trying to carry cameras around or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Our TeePublic site is also out there. People have been buying t-shirts. Go check that out.
They're cool.
Yeah, they are cool.
I like them. I think they're really neat. And
you ordered one yet?
Well, I was thinking about as we go down to Dallas, I was thinking I need some something, a little something.
You're not going shirtless?
No. I number one, I don't want to be thrown out. Hey, look, fella, that's not a costume. All right. That's just public indecency.
Hey, the hair is sort of a shirt if you think about it.
Is that? Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
because
we're getting off track.
Katie told us that when we talk about the lower back ponytail,
it's not a good.
It can throw people.
All
right. Yeah. Well, with that, yeah, okay.
Into the reread, my friend.
Here we
Take
are.
us there.
Yeah. So, what is it? So, chapter 4.
Yep.
The Field of Cormallen, and this is so we return back to Gandalf.
Yep.
And those who were at the Black Gate to the north, the captains of the west. It's cool. This is I feel like this is that chapter where our party is split up and we have to bring them back together. So we're going to bounce back and forth between where they are and the action and try to bring it all together. And really at the end of Mount Doom, we saw the Nazgul coming back. And we did see what happened to them. It actually, again, like just flames and ruin and all that kind of stuff. We hear at the start of this chapter the ruinous voice, and we are the sound, right?
Yeah,
it's awful, but it's neat how I think it jumps back and forth and builds a little bit of this like, where it's going, but at the same time, it's just like, all right, this is awesome, and you're not. I guess if you read it the first time, you'd be thinking when Sam and Frodo are there, like it's just like they're close to dying.
Yeah,
I mean, really, when Gwahir gets there, it's close.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, so we kind of go back and forth. We start back here on the hills. Remember, they had sort of made they'd raised their banner, and
they found the high ground.
Yeah,
yeah,
yes, they did. They did. So, and it's during this time. Let's just hop right to the chapter
here.
Get into it. Oh boy, yeah, I was way ahead there.
I got a couple things in the first paragraph that stood out to me. I love the visual of Aragorn stood beneath his banner, silent and stern, as one lost in thought of things long past or far away.
Yep.
Just an interesting like visual, or I don't know, maybe tie, because he's of this line, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes in your life, don't you feel like there's something of your ancestors speaking to you? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that sounds like ridiculous or corny, but like there's something from the past that's trying to either tell you of something that's about to come or helping you pause to realize what's happening in the present. Have you ever felt that way before? Like some sort of like
as if like this is significant,
like pay attention
or
to
whatever.
this. Like this is many others before you have lived so that you could get to this point.
Right.
That kind of a realization when it hits you like that. And then also just the imagery of his eyes gleamed like stars that shine brighter as the night deepens. So again, this whole stars theme, the light of the ethereal and even the stars that are in the banner of Gondor, with the tree and seven stars, and it just interesting. Very interesting.
I don't think this is going to be a surprise or shock to anyone that in this very first first paragraph, I was at school, and I knew that Lane was going to underline all of that. And I literally just said, don't even try it. Don't even try it. So I went right to where Gandalf, is.
Oh, of course you would. There's
white
one
and cold.
Yeah, up on this. Okay, and also, didn't you think it's interesting, like the sea imagery, the ocean imagery of like, Moria broke like a wave on the beleaguered hills. The roaring like a tide amid the wreck and crash of arms. I thought of like, I don't know much about it, but I thought of Numenor.
Oh, okay, sure.
Like, is there some sort of tie-in there that it beckons that could be that visual anyway?
Yeah,
and how kind of like a destruction of a creation of man. It's flipping it on its head to
great cleansing.
Men destroying evil, and the fact that they're also kind of up on hills that are like islands.
Yes,
it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, and they were told to kind of stay there. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that is all of that imagery, as you say, of water and light and the stars and all. It's littered throughout the entire chapter. It's completely different from the last time we were with either party.
And all these cleansing elements.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And I just thought it was kind of neat. So, upon the hilltop stood Gandalf. As I said, he was white and cold, and no shadow fell on him.
That's all you got to say. Just that one sentence.
That's it. I thought to myself, I'm done. That's it. Stop. And
you didn't read any more of the chapter.
That
was it.
Closed my book, and no shadow fell on him. You know why? Because it can't. Okay. He is. I mean, right? He's Gandalf the White. He's the What?
Just take them both. You need both mics.
Okay. So I thought that was pretty neat, and
that's cool. Yeah, that is really cool.
So they're both kind of sensing things. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Like how Gandalf is sort of connected to, not only just the nature, but just like
back to the
life.
skies too.
Yeah. And he's drawn. Yeah, he has this feeling, this urge to kind of look, and he's able to see the eagles coming. And
so I started kind of like skimming over the beginning of the Silmarillion. Okay.
Yes.
And so I'm learning about all of the different Valar. Right?
Yes.
Is it Manwë?
Yes.
All right. Manwë, who concerns himself. He was in love with the winds and like the weather from the highest storm cloud down to the lowest, rustling through the grass. And so I think about him, and like it was crazy because I read it after this last chapter. I'm like, hold on a second. And then is it Varda who is his?
Yeah, companion. Yeah.
His companion, and her love and pull was towards Starlight.
Yeah, yep.
Right?
That's right.
And how those were two elements that came into play the last chapter. And how I thought it was interesting how Tolkien said when the two were seated together that their vision became
sure.
far-seeing.
Yes, yeah.
Like they were only strengthened when they came together. And here we have Starlight and wind and weather going hand in hand, and
I kept thinking too,
working together
in the last chapter, and even in this, the wind moving the clouds out.
Yep.
Right, and then getting clearer sight and clearer vision just in that regard, which was cool. Right.
Like it's.
So you're right. Yeah.
So I'm starting to see how reading the Silmarillion too. Just what everyone said is it makes your experience in Lord of the Rings richer.
Yes.
So when we go back for the reunion tour. I can't wait because we're going to be catching stuff that we never.
And I'm glad it happened this way.
Yeah, me too.
Like really, because
this is what I fell in love with. Like this is what.
Yes.
This is it, man. This is the love letter.
And it's hobbits, as you say. We've always said we're hobbits.
Yep.
Journeying through this, and so it's good that we got this down this way, because then now we are hobbits who will have returned from this journey. Hopefully, if we can get through. If we can make it to the end, left, right? Yeah. And then we'll venture, back and kind of explore the Silmarillion and come back around. It's going to be fantastic. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. A lot of that seems to is some pretty neat stuff that just keeps reoccurring. I think back to the Fellowship, and I think back to Two Towers, and all the times where we said, "What is that?
Yeah,
what's the driving force here? Like, what is it that's urging them to?" Like, I was thinking in this chapter, I thought of Sam, and I think I wrote somewhere in the margin, like, "Wow." Think back to when Gandalf said, like when Gandalf looked at Sam and thought,
dude,
he'll be needed. What kind of sight was that? Look at that one decision. We're not here without Sam.
Yeah.
We're not here without Frodo. Like every piece was needed. Every person had a role to play.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic. So, yeah. So yeah, the Eagles are coming. The Eagles are coming. Just super awesome. The host of Mordor, they are out of their minds scared. Mm-hmm. They're really, I mean, because it's not just that. So the Eagles are coming. We've got some hope. They're looking up. They're kind of distracted. Gwahir is there. Yeah. Windlord, okay, brings his brother with him, and I love that they're actually even. This is just attention to detail here, right? And building of the world and stuff like they're descended from this ancient eagle, right? Who they say built nest right up in these eyries, right?
Yep.
Peaks of the encircling mountains when Middle Earth was young.
When Middle Earth was young.
Yeah, I just think it's
cool, man.
Really cool, and it's like it's neat that they're named, and it's neat that they
and it's information, right? We haven't gotten that yet, and why not? I think it's interesting too that he pairs it with this climax.
Yeah,
like I'm going to tell you how great these eagles really are. Like you may have been confused before. All right.
Yeah.
That they were just they were Windlord or whatever.
Right.
And also, dude, Windlord. I'm thinking I'm thinking Manwë again, the connection there that he is, that I don't know. Gwahir is the Lord of the Wind.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a cool connection. And is it Landroval? Is that how you say it?
I think it's Land Rover.
Land Rover? Okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
It's pretty good off terrain sort of vehicle.
His
air.
Right.
It's off terrain.
Is that his brother? Right.
I think they're bros. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're bros.
That's so cool.
Same egg. Same nest. Eggs right next to each other.
Same egg. Yeah.
The same egg.
I don't know if you can do that.
Would you be twin birds? I'm gonna look it up.
Is that possible?
I'm looking it up.
Is that a possible thing?
Did they come from the same egg? I'm guessing probably not.
I thought that was neat just to kind of.
Oh, it's really cool.
It's like he always leaves you wanting more because I want to know more about them.
I know.
And everything, and the fact that they speak to Gandalf and stuff is just like, let's go.
Okay, I just made the mistake of looking up Thorondor.
Oh no, what'd you find?
The king of the great eagles.
Yeah.
Just really cool illustrations so far.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Like John Howe stuff. Like, come on.
Oh man, that's awesome. Okay, so they show up, and what's really happening to the enemy here? We kind of said this is like mountains are being torn down. It's like every bit of evil that was keeping whatever the evil spirit or power was that was keeping this like towers and
guess
walls.
Guess who sent Thorondor?
Yeah,
Manwë.
Come on,
to watch over the Noldor.
Yeah.
After they arrived in Beleriand.
That makes sense. Yeah, makes good sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. It was good. It's good. So, but
so cool.
Did you feel? So here it is. The power that drove them on and filled them with hate and fury was wavering.
Yeah, this was amazing.
Yeah. Its will was removed from them, and now looking in the eyes of their enemies, they saw a deadly light and were afraid.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like a spell or some sort of witchcraft or
right.
It almost gives you pity for the orcs
a little bit.
It almost gives you pity for. I mean, definitely for the groups of men that like allied with Sauron, and because you think, man, like that could have been anybody.
Sure,
could have been anybody. I mean, you put on the ring and you're a slave to his will, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so even for a few moments, that was Frodo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when he put the ring on, and even just that fighting that temptation constantly to give into that, succumb to that temptation.
Well, and so then you're not fighting only just to kind of protect your own people in the West. You're fighting for all of Middle Earth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, right.
You want this spell to be lifted and this power and this evil presence gone, the shadow to be gone.
Man. Yes.
Yeah. So we have all of this just basically, towers being torn down and wind moving through. The earth is groaning and quaking. The towers of teeth swayed, tottered, and fell down. You have this,
great imagery.
I hear, the ruinous noise, this roar, a long echoing roll of ruinous noise that you hear throughout the land. And this is when Gandalf kind of, cries out, "The realm of Sauron is ended."
Yeah, dude.
And I was like, wait, it's over.
Yep.
It's over. He proclaims that it's over. The ring bearer has fulfilled his quest.
And isn't that interesting too, man? Just that one line, the ring bearer has fulfilled his quest.
No one had said it before, and so I was like, I feel complete.
Yes.
It needed to be said.
And think about, when's the last time we had our splintered factions united?
Yeah.
we always have these, like Tolkien does this. He'll say, by the way, at the same time as what's going on right now, these things were also happening.
Right.
Like
right.
he did it in Mordor. He said, okay, so actually if we zoomed out here and we went down to the Pelennor Fields, Theoden's dying. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. This happened at the same time. But when else have we had a time where like our characters knew Frodo just did this?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I get you. Yep.
And he doesn't even necessarily, he doesn't say Frodo. He says the ring bearer.
Yep.
So, you don't even necessarily know, like Frodo, it could have been Sam.
Yep.
Could have been Gollum, right?
Yes,
that's right. Someone who bore the ring.
That's right.
Fulfilled this quest.
Wow. Yeah.
Like I mean, can you imagine that moment for like what was Gandalf feeling? Like what in the world was, and then as he said it, because I wonder
what would you if you were standing nearby?
And you're processing, and even Aragorn thinking like whoa, like processing.
Really?
Oh my gosh, man! Like what just happened?
Right.
And then it trickling down, and how that would only, of course, increase your enemy's fear and build your own strength.
Yeah. It's awesome. And I was thinking like that would give you such, it does say multiple times that they had a renewed hope when the eagles show up, when they see this destruction, when Gandalf tells them to wait and stand still.
Yeah.
It made me think like, again, I hate to, well, I don't know, like there's references in here sometimes, like to stand still and see the power at work, like to see, multiple times it's referenced in different religions and faith or whatever, that we need to have a time where we do stand and wait and be at peace, be like look around, look at what's happening. It's over. The spell is broken.
And we have moments of silence all throughout the story, right? It's just similar things, like just observing something, like whether it's in anticipation for something or processing something, and this is one of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So okay, with that, it's ended. Oh my gosh. It seemed that the black, pall of cloud and that these things are moving away. The shadow is that was impenetrable is now being kind of lifted, and light is returning. The captains bowed their heads, and when they looked up again, behold, their enemies were flying, and the power of Mordor was scattered like dust in the wind. So there it is. Here we go. The orcs or the trolls or beast spell enslaved ran. They ran, right? They were spell enslaved.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Man, and so crazy that some of them, whether because of fear or because of guilt, some slew themselves, or cast themselves in pits and fled. I mean, it's like crazy. There's a wailing. There's this. You do actually feel. You don't know. I mean, I think of Gollum, and I think of Smeagol, and like what the power of the ring did to him, and it's awful. Yeah, it's an awful thing. Yeah, and so I think just as we had pity on him, I think you're right. I think we should have pity on those who were under his influence, even if the orcs or trolls or whoever were, by nature maybe whatever.
Right.
It's still they were enslaved.
Yeah,
under this in a way.
I think Tolkien also teaches us the power of pity too.
Yeah.
That it's not, I think a lot of times people see that as like a weakness or being indecisive maybe. Mm-hmm. Like, not being able to stand for one thing or the other. But I think it's and he shows us it's quite the opposite. That it's one of the strongest things that you can do, because it's something that doesn't, you don't have to show pity. The world will go, if you don't show pity, the world goes, yeah, sure. Yeah. They got what they deserved. Cool. Yeah. Why not?
Right.
Like screw them,
Yeah, stop for a second and think, right? I mean, like
the whole thing of putting yourself in that person's place, assessing the situation from their point of view.
Right.
It's hard to, I don't know, like knee jerk, it's very easy to condemn, I think. Well, but when you stop and think about the entire path that someone or groups of people took to get to a certain point, you're like, oh, wow, geesh. I've been in the same situations, man. Yeah. Like I've made similar decisions, or I've chose not to, but luckily didn't. You know what I mean? Like it's just crazy.
Yeah, and it's in a lot of ways they ought to consider themselves blessed that they were not in these lands where the Dark Lord and his presence was so strong.
Exactly.
And those who weren't serving
up against
him,
a wall.
Yeah, those who weren't serving him were enslaved to him.
Yep.
right? I think that's sort of
right.
the idea.
Yeah, like
there were those who were in the mines who were
yes,
enslaved.
right. Yep,
and things. Yeah.
Whew.
So, okay. And some cast their weapons down and sued for mercy. Okay.
Yeah.
Whew. Then Gandalf, leaving all such matters of battle and command to Aragorn and the other lords, stood before the hilltop and called down to him, and down came to him the great eagle Gwahir, the Wind Lord, and he stood before him. This is awesome. I mean, this is where he basically says, that twice you had borne me before. If you'll bear it, this third time.
Please don't even.
I'm sorry.
Know.
I typically don't point them out, but
it's all over this chapter too. Thrice.
That was glaring.
Shall pay for all.
Right.
Yep.
And that's big. Yeah. Shall pay for all. Like this is necessary. This is huge. And clearly, yeah, he's gonna
dude, and taking it back to how he bore him away from Zaraxagil, where he was transformed, where my old life burned away.
Wow.
And here we are. It's just, I don't know, man. Just like the contrast is crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How his old self burned away and he became greater. And here we are seeing this great dark power that is dissolving.
Yeah. And that's something, right? I mean, when you get into, as we've been talking more about the Silmarillion and sort of the Valar and the Maiar and the hierarchy and stuff, it's sort of like, hold on a second. It's a pretty big deal that he was sent back. I mean,
oh yeah, man.
Like it's pretty cool. And I don't know.
Just think about all of the individuals and groups of people that listened to Gandalf's counsel too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Like, how would the story have been different if he wasn't around? Like, if it would have just been, trusted that Saruman would do what he should have done.
Yeah, for sure. Right, that would have been
like the greatest.
Yes,
he was the greatest.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
So yeah, here we go. And really, what we're getting at is that the Nazgul they had seen fly away, and they were the fastest they were going to get there. And this is where Gandalf realizes, I need you to move. Fast. Mm-hmm. I need the fastest among you, and he's got to get there before they do. And maybe doesn't quite know what's going to happen to them or whatever, but I got to get there. And regardless of whether the Nazgul are still around or involved, And by the way, I glossed over too in the beginning of this. When they first show up, they sweep down. They come down on the Nazgul. It's like awesome.
Yep. Oh yeah, they have a battle right there.
Yeah. But to get there, I think Gandalf just senses he's in peril. Like this. Yeah. I mean, look at what's happening around the land. Let's get to Frodo, and or whoever's left.
And he also, for the first time, kind of knows exactly where he is.
Yeah,
he's got to be by Mount Doom.
Yes, he does, and he can get there.
It, for a while too, wasn't it? And this might be movieism, and I can't process all the stuff we've read.
Where he says he's passed beyond.
Yes,
there's
some veil now between me. Like he's passed beyond my sight.
Beyond my sight.
Right. There's a shadow, and part of that was entering into Mordor. That it was clouded, just like physically it was, but it was also this kind of enslavement, Paul, that even great powers can't perceive. Well, we talked about it last chapter. Mm-hmm. That in that realm of Mount Doom itself, no other powers had any kind of bearing.
Right there, you lose sight. Anyone would.
Right. Galadriel herself couldn't see in, or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, I do love again. He says that. Gwahir says, it wouldn't be a problem even if you were made of stone, right? I'd carry you still. Mm-hmm. This is like an honor for me, and that Gandalf says he has need of speed greater than any wind.
Yeah.
Than any wind. Than the strongest powers of Manwë. I keep coming back to it. It's so cool. I feel like you feel like you just unlock there's more depth now. And I'm seeing what people have been talking about and trying to tell me is that it just whether that's exactly what it is or not, you can go, okay, well,
I imagine
that could mean I don't know. I don't know. I like that it's because we all go through our lives and we're like, we want more meaning, we want there to be something beyond, or some powers that are working, or that we're working in the same direction of powers of good, right? And so, it's not directly. We've talked about this in other episodes before, but it's more like it feels like common day where there's no acts of a greater power, a higher power that are like blunt and obvious.
Yes.
Right. There's more faith that needs to be had, or trust that, those powers are still there. And so when you can see this stuff, you're like, oh, maybe that's a chink of light, or something shining through.
We have such a desire, even as readers, to want to see that.
Yeah.
And so then now when you read the Silmarillion and you still have that same desire, and you're like, you're regardless, it could just be whatever. Yeah. But I'm starting to think there's something to this wind and this speed and this, all this, right?
It's cool, isn't it, dude?
Yeah. Yes, it is. It really is. And really, it's just whatever. It's our moment with the Eagles. So we're gonna sit here for like it's a big deal. I mean,
yes,
like the urgency of in which Gandalf is sort of like. I mean, everything else seems to be going well. You would think they're celebrating and there's all this, like everyone is cheering and oh my god, this is awesome. We're not out of it.
The battle still wages on.
No,
we see that too.
Everything could be lost. We have to go.
Okay.
And it's all worth it for just even if it's just this one.
Yeah.
Even if only one survived, one ring bearer, whatever it may be. Isn't it interesting though? He knew how many to take. And he knew my ego.
That son of a gun. I just realized. Okay, wind. The good guys win.
Wow.
They win in the end.
They win in the end.
Bad guys lost.
Yep.
Good guys winded.
I got it. Wow. That's next level.
He was a genius. He was a genius. Jaron Tolkien.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Wow. All right. Now here we go back to Frodo and see.
Yep.
And
isn't it nice to jump back and forth between our characters in the same chapter too?
Yes, it is. It's nice.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. I am glad that you're here with me, said Frodo. Here at the end of all things, Sam. Yes, I am with you, Master, said Sam. And Sam doesn't, he takes a little issue with the phrase at the end of all things. Maybe it's not, right? Maybe he doesn't want to give up yet. It's not like me somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe not, Sam, said Frodo, but it's like things are in the world. Hope fails, an end comes. We have only a little time to wait now. We are lost in ruin and downfall, and there is no escape.
And I just realized, too, like Sam and Frodo are kind of... I don't know why it's hitting me, but it's like we all have a Sam and a Frodo in our mind. We have these shades of optimism, and we have these hues of pessimism.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just interesting that, I mean, those conversations happen between people, but they also can happen in your own mind as well.
For sure.
Like these two sides of goodness. One's a little more pessimistic or realistic or whatever, and the other one's more hopeful, more optimistic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if it's ever been more sharply contrasted than right there, though.
Yeah.
That's pretty just like...
It's straightforward, yes. Yeah.
There's no hope, and this is the way it is. Well, I don't know about that. There might be some hope left. Yeah, but this is kind of the way it goes. Hope fails, and then comes.
It's almost like it is a little bit like the conversation that Sam had with himself back and forth.
It is.
And now we just see it.
And it's one of those things too, like if you have it in your own head and you're like, oh man, that is real, but you hear someone else say it, you're like, no, no, have hope.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, It's almost like it's more shocking to hear someone else say it.
Yes.
Or whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Well, and so thankfully for Sam, I mean, he does and you don't know. I actually kind of wonder here that if this last little bit of optimism or looking in finding hope, that he decides, let's move on a little. Let's at least come with me a little way from these cracks of doom.
Yeah.
Here. All right. Let's
make a compromise here.
Yeah.
We'll go halfway.
So very well, Sam. If you wish to go, I'll come.
Yep.
Right. And
yeah, okay.
And I don't hold anything. I mean, again, Frodo just got done with the he faced more than any of them.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
I think death would still be a relief for him.
Yeah. Something that's weighing on is something. Yeah.
I mean, and he, as we see later on, he bears these wounds that, I don't know how they could heal other than just leaving. Yeah. I think it's interesting to hear how it's Sam that's leading. Mm-hmm. And it's Frodo that's following.
Right.
Where this whole journey, it's been Frodo leading and Sam being there to follow.
Yeah.
And how it's flipped here.
Right. Yeah, so he does. He leads them down a little ways, and they're able. They take the path for as long as they can. The mountain's convulsing, Great rents opened in its side. Slow rivers of fire came down the long
Vomit
slopes.
rolled.
Yeah. And soon they would be engulfed.
Yeah.
They would be. Had Gandalf not have come, this was a one-way journey.
Yeah. I think we get more of a sense of that here than we do in the films. It's like, that rock, it's out of ways.
Yeah.
It's not going to get swallowed up.
No,
but here you get more of a sense of urgency. Like, this mountain is just spewing everything out, and it's a matter of time before.
Not long, and we'll be.
Yeah.
Well, and so with that, what would your last sort of words be, right, to one another? What do you want to think about while you're
your legacy?
Right, while you're
your
dying.
Story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did I do? What did I do enough? I mean, like, are we able to smile when we're dying? Right. I mean, that's.
Oh, dude, don't, man.
I'm serious.
You took it there, bro.
I'm serious, but
I'm gonna cry on camera.
No, it's real though. It is real.
It is.
It's real. Yeah. And like that's
all
the
my Hobbit fans stand up.
That's the thing. It is your legacy. Your children, right? And the way that you've raised them. The life that you've led, all of that. And he thinks about this, but he also does it with some humor too, which I think is great. It's true to Sam.
Yeah.
He wonders what this story, he wonders if there'll be a tale told.
Yeah.
About Mr. Frodo and he. I wish I could hear it told. Do you think they'll say, now comes the story of Nine-Fingered Frodo and the Ring of Doom? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be, that Nine-Fingered Frodo. And I actually, first I laughed. So in the margin here, I just kind of like, I kind of had like a, whatever you call this.
This will be the sign. I want this story.
You want that story? Right. That's the one I want. Yeah. Yeah. But I thought that was funny first. And again, it's been a while since I've read this far into the series, honestly. It's been years since I've read this. So later on, when this comes back up again, I could not. I literally, I laughed out loud. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like when Sam was laughing, I was laughing. And he thinks back to the stories that they had told, like the same way they had a reverence for Beren and Luthien, and the stories that were told about Beren, and in his
Beren one hand,
Beren one hand, and the Great Jewel. A hush fell on them in Rivendell. Would that same hush, the parallel same silence be there for when their story was told? It's neat the way he thinks.
Losing a finger versus losing a hand,
Yeah.
There you go.
So, but even
what would you rather lose? A finger or a hand?
A finger.
Depends on the finger, though, right?
I don't know. Maybe.
Which?
No, I'd still go a finger.
If it was your thumb?
Wouldn't matter.
What if you lost your thumb? I know it's not technically a finger.
Wouldn't matter. I'd still go, yeah. Or losing the whole hand, yeah.
I think if you don't have a thumb, you might as well lose the whole hand.
I don't know. Yeah.
What was that noise?
No idea.
Did you hear it, though?
Hear it, though. What was it?
A dog outside? It's a dog barking outside.
What is that?
Whew. That scared me.
Hold on. Are you sure?
It's a dog outside. I hope.
Can't hear it.
Ooh, that first one sounded close. Okay. All right. Be gone, forces of Mordor. Can't scare a couple hobbits.
Why in the world? Yes, you can.
Goliath, you're not that tall, man.
Yes, you can.
You're not that tall.
No. We'll cut you down.
Yeah, you don't look so tall.
Oh, man. All right. I was a little scared. I was a little scared. All right.
Dog man at the door.
Anyway. Oh, now you turned me into a man, and I just saw something move past that window.
It was a car.
Saw it, right?
It was a car.
Oh, it was a car? Okay.
Yeah, I saw the lights.
Stop it now.
I think.
I feel like we're going back. I feel like we're going back in time.
Well, at least it's on camera. If we die, it's on camera. So our final moments.
That legacy.
I want to hear the story about the two podcasters.
Yeah.
And how the Wolfman ate them in their own on their own dining room table. Why am I like an Irish guy? I don't know.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind if that'd be the guy to tell our story, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so yeah,
but can you stop getting us off track? By the way, jeez,
even
man.
while he spoke, so to keep fear away until the very last, his eyes strayed north. He's looking north.
I guess so.
Into the eye of this. I'm sorry. Yeah, he looked like into the eye of the wind, to where the sky far off was clear. As the cold blast, rising to a gale, drove back the darkness and the ruin of the clouds. So there you are. Again, it's all
Yep,
it's
all
there.
over.
It's all over. No, really.
No, I know.
It's all over. I'm done with you. I'm not. I'm just.
There were 3 meanings there.
Yeah, there were. This is cool. I mean, Gwahir swoops in here, and they've flown with all haste, and they come down and they espy them. They swoop down, and it's kind of a quick. There's a lot of these like chapters where it's just it's very it's almost jump cutty type.
Yeah, it is.
I
mean, you can see where the film took inspiration from that.
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
little 2-paragraph
Yes.
little
And it just
segments.
It sort of. I think they sort of believe that they could be choked with fumes and heat and stricken down. So it's not, even though they see them, death is still near, and they've got to get there quickly because you could die from that. I mean,
and you're right though. Now that you say that, I was thinking about how this whole chapter feels very. Where before it was like every detail was drawn out. It is very, and I wonder if that also is to parallel, like how difficult it would be, especially later on when they go from death's doorstep in hell, essentially, on Earth, to a beautiful land, reunited with their friends. Like, I wonder if that also, the way he wrote this, helps in us feeling a little bit of trouble processing it.
Sure,
like,
could be, yeah.
Like you're in a stupor, like, what, Gandalf? Like, because we know Gandalf's around, but we still feel that. We're like, oh, Gandalf?
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't die in Moria? Like, what?
Right.
And we shouldn't feel that, but we still do. We're like that we share in that amazement that the hobbits feel. I don't know if part of that is like you're talking about. It's very, like we're not seeing every moment. We're not seeing them process it because they aren't.
Yeah. And we want to. We are on a journey with them, and so this would be sort of how it feels. Yeah. All right. So that's it. They get picked up, right? And we don't really know exactly. We just know that the wanderers were lifted up and bore away out of the darkness and out of the fire. Away. And then, again, we don't know what time passes or anything.
Right.
Just when Sam awoke, he found that he was lying on some soft bed. Isn't that nice?
Wonderful.
But over him gently swayed wide beechen
boughs.
Thank you. And through their young leaves, sunlight glimmered, green and gold.
Got that circled.
All of these, and actually, I think from here on out, that's what we see, right?
Like, and when was the last time we saw green and gold?
Right, it's been a long time.
Like Tom Bombadil's house.
Really. Almost.
Rivendell, probably, I guess.
Yeah.
Lothlorien.
Well, actually, there's a really. Maybe it's weird because these are the fair scents and smells and sights. Scents and smells. Oh, Lord. We're really struggling, aren't we?
Lord bless them.
Lord bless them.
We started talking about that bed, and you're thinking, well, that sounds pretty good to me. And I'm thinking, yeah, it sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah. But no, do you know what I mean? Like, I think when they are fair or they're more positive or whatever, like they stand out more. I guess like when you're doing like imagery, like even like some of that stuff that's darker and more morbid or whatever. I'm like, it's all there. All the imagery was still there because I almost said, well, it looks like he's back to what I remember in the Fellowship. Well, duh, because we're seeing the same images now. We're seeing a return to these green and golds and we've got blue and this water and light.
Yeah.
So
it's
and the
kinda,
smells.
Yeah, the smells.
The smells are
well,
good.
Yeah, because we remember that. That was one of the things. Remember, my mom was on for that chapter.
Yeah.
And the Garden of Gondor, right? And Ithilien, and how that was something that Sam the gardener talked about was the sense of all these plants and then we also have the fragrance of spring, man. I mean, this is the end of March. This is like the beginning of all this new life blooming.
Right.
Like that was really intentional too by Tolkien that he paired it with this awakening of the earth, like in just a natural order of things too. Like springtime is when things wake and they are born anew and it's new life.
Right.
And crazy.
Yeah. Winter had passed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sam he wakes up and it's just sort of he thinks it's all a dream.
Yeah.
It's all been a dream, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So
I guess I probably would, wouldn't it? I mean,
it would feel that way.
Sense.
It would feel that way. Gandalf is there though.
Yeah.
He doesn't know. That's got to be a dream, right? It has to be because Gandalf's there. I mean, he believes that he says, Gandalf, I thought you were dead, right? But then I thought myself dead. Is everything sad going to come untrue? What's happened to the world? And a great shadow has departed. And Gandalf then laughed. The sound was like music. There you go. Another connection. Laughter, music.
Yep.
Back to Silmarillion.
Yep.
Or like water in a parched land. And as he listened, the thought came to Sam that he had not heard laughter, the pure sound of merriment, for days upon days without count. And it's funny. It's neat that it comes from Gandalf, and it's just he's happy, that joy that the hobbits brought him back in the beginning.
Yes.
Their simple way of life and the small deeds, just these little, these things that really make it. I don't know. They're just they embody so much good.
Yeah.
And they're just wholesome. I don't know.
Yep.
It's good. It makes him happy, and he's happy that Sam is alive and well. And it's funny too, when you look back and you read this again, you notice that when he first woke up, he saw that Frodo was lying beside him. And that he slept peacefully, one hand behind his head, one hand behind his head, and the other one resting, because he had already been up. Frodo had already been up, and he went back in there, and he's just casually laying with his hand behind, and he fell asleep again. I thought that was kind of funny.
Yep.
The way in which they talk about his position cues you in that, oh yeah, he was up.
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
So, just a little attention to detail. So, but yeah, this shadow had departed, and I mean, this Sam is in such disbelief that he wants to laugh, but he cries.
Yeah.
He cries and then he laughs.
Yeah.
And he just can't believe it. He's overwhelmed. And what's interesting with this whole part too is it's just Sam and Frodo for a bit. They don't see Merry and Pippin. It's not like we see maybe in the film exactly. And so it's interesting that this
it is. It's a very
the way they're still separated for a bit, for a time.
And we also see it through Sam's eyes. In the films, we get it through Frodo's.
Yes.
And Sam's just kind of the last one to come in. It's like Sam had been up for a while.
Yes,
but here we see that it's, he's the second to rise and wake up. And yeah, man, it's cool. And I love, though, that he stops himself, right, in the midst of describing how he feels, how good he feels, and he thinks about his master.
Yeah, he does.
Thinks about Frodo. How's his, shame about his hand. Is he all right? He's had a cruel time. And this is when Frodo wakes up.
He wakes
right?
up. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he was really even that asleep.
Yeah, maybe not.
But he pops up again, and then Sam kind of wants to know what day it is, and I just think this is kind of funny, right? It's Gandalf going back, comparing the calendars. It's the 14th of the new year, or if you like, the 8th day of April, in Shire reckoning.
Yep.
But in Gondor, the new year will always now begin upon the 25th of March,
which is little Charlotte's birthday.
It's crazy.
Yep. Little Gondorian princess.
That is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
pretty cool, man.
Wow. So yeah, they're able to get a little bit of drink. They eat a light meal and everything, and it's brought up that the king is waiting for them, and that they need to go to him. What king? Who is he? The king of Gondor.
Yep.
The lord of the western lands, said Gandalf. He has taken back all his ancient realm. He will ride soon to his crowning, but he waits for you. So this is awesome, right? They're waking up. They're wondering what clothes they're going to wear. I thought this was amazing. They decide that every rag, every little bit of clothing that sheltered them to any degree on their way to destroy the ring was precious.
Holy relic. Precious.
Wow. Right?
Yeah.
It's crazy, though. I was like, oh, my gosh. Wait, they're going to find even the orc mail. I mean, even things like, and you're like, wait, they went and got, what? Like, how did they get that?
Yeah.
How did they,
True.
True. There's been time has passed.
Oh, wow.
How did they get that? Like what? Like, it was it was precious. It was cherished.
Yep.
And it's something that'll be a token, things that you remember. And
something physical you can look back on, and this helped them complete this task.
All the swords and all the weapons that we hear about from the elves that have been passed down, that were forged.
Think about Anduril.
Yes, special meaning.
Shards of Narsil. Yeah.
Right. I was reading I told you this. I was reading the Children of Hurin.
Yeah.
And I mean the relics and the things that were made, and I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
They were given such. They each had a story, and they had a weight, and they were kept around, and you were retold the story of a helm, a dragon helm, or a sword, or whatever, and you're like, oh man. Yeah. So to think that it wasn't really about their weapons, but it was about their clothing, what they wore to shelter them on the way.
It's all they had. Yeah, and I guess it like pays homage to the whole fact that their journey was one of secrecy. Mm-hmm. It wasn't one of war or battle, so a sword wouldn't represent the journey. It was secrecy, being cloaked, being kept secret.
Yeah. Oh boy,
dang man.
So, but they get him some new clothes and and he pulls out their 2 treasures, right? The like Lady Galadriel's gifts. Mm-hmm. So those are things that they had kept on them till the very end.
Yep.
But yeah. So they're finally, they get washed and clad, and they've eaten a light meal. They follow Gandalf. Behind them, they could hear the sound of falling water, and a stream ran down before them between flowering banks until it came to a greenwood at the lawn's foot, and passed then on under an archway of trees. Just beautiful, right?
Yeah, it really
just
is.
Water continues to fall. They can hear it. The shimmering of water far away, or see it, and
all these things that they had longed for too, they had missed, and all these things that Frodo was unable to recall.
Mm-hmm.
Grass and trees and water and the simple things that didn't exist in Mordor, and couldn't even remember, and now they're all around him.
Yeah,
full in glory.
Yeah, well, they're being praised with great praise.
Yep.
Right? That's the thing. They repeat that phrase over and over.
Long
live the halflings.
Yep.
Yeah, and a bunch of other words I can't read. Yeah. So, but really cool.
It's all Elvish to me, bro.
Yeah. It's really neat because they walk out here and they hear these many voices just sort of like, calling out praise to them.
Yeah.
These are the 2. And oh man, it takes me back. Oh gosh, it takes me back to our conversation about, you don't always have to be waving a sword. Like there's other battles being. I don't know.
Yes, sir.
So it's just neat. It's really neat that they. I'm glad that they got this recognition. You could say, well, it was. Look who was here fighting the city. What were you guys out doing?
Yeah.
Like I don't quite understand it, but people do.
Yep.
They understand that these halflings did a great thing.
Yeah.
And the reason that everyone was saved. You can imagine that tale like being told. And again, it's funny that Sam brings that up, but that is legit. That the tale is being told. And really, they don't even, when Sam and Frodo are taken back, I'm sure Gandalf had to look and say, his finger is gone.
Yeah.
There are bite marks there. There's something happened.
Yeah.
What happened? We don't really know, right? They don't really exactly know.
Yeah.
I'm sure Gandalf perceived, but still.
Sure.
Man. So amidst the clamorous host, right here are the 3 high seats. Right there they are. There they are.
Yes, I see it again.
It's awesome because you have the different banners there. You got the ship swan, right? You've got the silver upon blue. Really cool. Just the different banners that are represented there. And here we go. And then so they're looking at this man who sat on the highest throne, and he had a great sword laid across his knee, but he wore no helm. And as they drew near, he rose, and then they knew him, changed as he was, so high and glad of face, kingly, lord of men, dark-haired with eyes of gray.
Yeah.
Wow.
There he is.
There he is. Old Strider.
Yep. Yes, Sam Strider. It is a long way.
I love that they call him Strider still.
And I love that he took that as his kingly household name, Tel Kantar. Like that is a name that was once used in mockery of him.
Yeah.
Ends up being the name of his household. because the hobbits loved it so much.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. It is a long way, is it not, from Bree, where you did not like the look of me. Mm-hmm. And even that, just interesting thing about how they look at him now, and they're like, there he is.
Right.
And how, in Bree, not that long ago, he didn't look like he was a very good dude.
No, right there.
A long way for us all, but yours has been the darkest road. Man,
truly, yours has been the darkest road.
And that's saying a lot, because think about the road that he took to summon that army and what they had to pass through.
Oh yeah,
and scary stuff.
Yeah, but Sam and Frodo were on a darker road.
They
were in the heart of it, man. I mean, no one else even got close.
No,
they were all on the outskirts.
Yep.
There, it just yeah. So, and he does the unexpected here. He turns and he kneels and he shouts aloud, right? Praise them with great praise.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, and everyone does, and everyone sort of like just again the king. They haven't had a king like this in so long,
right?
And he's uniting the kingdoms, and all this stuff is happening. But yet here he is kneeling to these halflings. It's fantastic. So here we go. So it's like before they're able to move on, you have is it the minstrel or
strolling around.
Yeah. Rolls up there and decides to kind of sing. He wanted to sing for Frodo of the Nine Fingers and the Ring of Doom.
Yeah, baby.
How? I mean, like what is it? Sam thinks of that himself. And
oh my gosh,
right?
dude, wait. 9 fingers. There are 9 members in the fellowship too.
Stop.
Had to get rid of one. Had to lose a finger, man, to represent that fellowship.
That's crazy. You think he planned that?
That Jaren token.
Oh, that's so
Maybe
awesome.
he was a genius.
Maybe he was.
I don't know.
That's so cool. Yeah, but he, yeah.
Wow.
So he's singing the tale,
yep.
And it's funny that they don't actually tell you what the great song was.
No,
right?
we didn't get to hear it, did we? Yeah.
No.
They just laughed and wept in the midst of their merriment and the tears. Yeah.
Yeah. It's you wonder what what the song sounded like.
I guess we've heard it.
We have,
haven't we? I mean, we've read it.
We read it, yeah.
We've heard it. Like, it's been this story. That's what the minstrel's saying. We don't need to hear it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because we've lived it as. See, it's kind of a funny thing I'm doing. But
yeah, no, it's actually
wink, wink.
It's also legit too. I thought you were gonna break out in song like Frodo,
the 9 fingered and the Ring of Doom.
Wow, different key there.
Gather round, children, and hear a tale.
Wait, I have one better.
Frodo, the 9 fingered. We'll hash it out.
So when I think of the minstrel,
yeah,
I think of your sister.
Oh my God.
She's like, all right.
I think of kind of a Lord Farquaad
gather round.
Gather round.
So you see, how does she do it?
So it's so funny you were talking about that, because I was thinking about how we're going to do the series, like the trilogy with Hillary.
Yeah.
And how hilarious it's going to be.
I think the minstrel, we're going to call her the minstrel.
Hillary the minstrel.
She sings and tells the tale.
What did she say happens?
So great.
Or the place with
Frodo
all
with the Baggins.
Place with all the bright place.
Yeah.
Rivendell. Yeah, okay. With the elves are.
Right, yeah.
Whatever. It's that place, it's real bright. Got a lot of lights out there, I don't know. It's like in a valley, and
that's
there's
your
still
sister.
lights,
Right there, yeah.
That's my sister. My name's Hillary.
Yeah.
Whatever, I don't know.
She's
funny.
Yeah. One time, by the way, back in the summer or the summer before that, I can't remember what it was.
We almost recorded with her.
Yeah. And she broke into just
I think it was last summer.
She just started, and I was here, and she started that whole thing. You filmed it, but she started to retell the story. And
didn't we even have mics up too?
I think we did. Yeah,
she Destiny, man. It's Destiny that we just waited.
Else. Yeah, but she started to retell it, and I could not. I had to leave the room.
It was ridiculous.
I was like, "Excuse me."
And I made her watch every Sunday, but they would
She was halfway watching.
My dad would fall asleep usually. Mom would kind of start sewing or something, and Hillary would wind up doing something else and slipping out of the room. And I couldn't force them as I tried.
I know you did.
I couldn't force them.
That's fine.
Frodo, the 9 finger. Dude, I think we're on to something there.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe we have to get your cousin back out
And the
here.
ring of doom, gather round my children, for I'll tell you a tale about the 9 fingers and how the Dark Lord fell.
I'm on. Yeah, let's go.
Bro, if you had to choose 9 fingers or 9 toes, okay, now there's a real quandary. You can have 9 fingers or you can have 9 toes. You can pick whichever one you lose. I'm cutting it off because I'm holding you for ransom.
Okay.
I know that part doesn't matter. But if you had to choose, I either have to live with 9 toes or 9 fingers.
Do I have to pick?
Yeah.
I would rather live with 9 fingers.
What is your obsession with fingers? You put shoes on every day.
Yeah. I'd be fine. Make it work.
You want to show off that you lost a finger.
I have heels. All right. I don't know.
Can you imagine you in heels?
I don't really know. That's crazy. That's one of those.
Can you imagine you in heels, bro?
No, I can't. Actually,
I kind of want to see it now. I just sort of want to see it.
Pictures.
If 100 people come to the party, you walk in heels.
Okay. Fine.
For an hour.
Fine. I'll do that. That's fine. Mark it down. I'll do it. If 100 people show up, have the heels on standby.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
Find it
Okay.
big enough.
All right. So here we go. You know, at last, the sun finally did. Fell from the noon, and the shadows of the trees lengthened and ended. Praise them with great praise, he said, and knelt, and then Aragorn stood, and with all the host arose. So this is where they go, and they're eating and they're drinking, and they're making merry while the day lasted. So I'm sorry, just after noon. I should have said it that. Should have said it that.
Schwa.
Right.
You're doing a good job.
Thank you. Frodo and Sam were led apart and brought to a tent, and there they get their old raiment was taken off, and they get some clean linens on, and this is kind of neat. He gets his mithril coat back. He gets a few other things. They get their they get their old stuff back, right? Mm-hmm. And Frodo says, I do not wish for any sword. Tonight at least you should wear one, said Gandalf, sort of ceremonial. So we talk about staying there. They're thinking back to Bilbo and wanting to go see him. But yeah, they're really just prepping for this feast, and they're going to go up there and sit, and they're going to sit with a couple of kings.
No big deal.
Couple of kings. So I think it's pretty cool. King Éomer, right? He's there. Yep. There he is.
Gandalf's also like, don't embarrass me, Frodo. Put the sword on.
Yeah.
Come on, like, you're with me. I have an expectation.
Right. I thought this was interesting. Prince Imrahil, right? He is interesting to me.
Yeah, he is. His is one of the banners. The one with the swan.
Yeah, the one with the swan.
His.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so. You think of those who were there, who were giving counsel.
Like, what if he hadn't shown up?
Yeah,
different story.
It's a big deal that he did show up,
yes,
and that he was able to kind of, help. It's almost even that transition between
from steward to king.
Yeah, exactly.
He was there.
Yes, and he's needed for that role. It's awesome.
Every king needs a prince.
And that area that he comes from too is very significant in the histories and stuff. So
I know all about Dol Amroth.
It's just cool, right? I think it's neat. And I didn't.
Dol Amroth means the city. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, don't look it up. Don't look it up. Just trust me. As you're getting kind of to a serious part, I just wanted to say I think it's about time we start a Lord of the Rings podcast.
Yeah. Okay.
Got to get the name just right though. I don't know if you have any ideas. I happen to have one.
You do?
Everybody Loves Raymond podcast.
Everybody Loves Raymond. Oh, that was good.
Hobbits clearly do.
Wow, I'm trying. I don't even, not. Well, I mean, like, praise them with great praise.
Yeah.
Seems like it'd be a pretty like what would that podcast even be about?
It'd probably be religious.
Yeah, probably.
I think maybe commentary on the church or something like that, or the churches.
Yeah.
How about Sky Rover?
Sky Rover.
The Sky Rover podcast instead of Land Roval.
Land Roval. Is that what you call it?
Land Roval.
What did you call him? You said Land Roval.
Land Roval.
Land Rover. Is that what you call him?
What's that?
Land Rover.
Lange. Got any more?
I don't really.
The More Honorable podcast might be kind of good.
Man.
Hushfell podcast.
Yeah. Line podcast.
Wow.
I did that.
Line. Getting there, man.
Yeah, we're getting there.
One of these days. Yep.
We're getting there. Yeah, is this a serious part that I'm coming upon? I don't know that it is.
I haven't read this book before. I have no idea.
Yeah, well, so
I Googled Field of Cormallen.
I think the coolest part about this is that they're being reunited. I mean, with Gimli and Legolas, they see them, and this is where Merry and Pippin are back.
Almost didn't even recognize them.
Right.
Two little lads.
They're not so little anymore.
Yeah, right.
They're a little too tall.
And draft. Yeah.
Which is neat, but they also have work to do. I think they're still in service.
Yeah.
So they're really keeping up with this whole being in service thing, which is cool.
Oh, also, do we say that Sting is given to, or Frodo tries to give Sting to Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Did you say that?
I just said that it was given back, and they discussed it, and then
how dare you?
Yeah. So
well, good. I'm glad
it's a good sword.
I was listening.
Needs to keep be kept. Oh Lord. Let's see. So yeah. Merry and Pippin. Here they are.
Mm-hmm. Here we are.
Sam's excited. Sam. When it's funny too because you don't really hear a lot about Frodo. And actually, I think you can almost imagine
shifting a little bit too, right?
Yes.
Because Frodo's
he's gone.
Yeah,
he's gone.
And he continues to distance himself. And
yes, he does. Sort of. He does. So it's like that. It's Sam is the one laughing. Sam is the one finding joy. Mm-hmm. He's the one seeing his friends and whatever. And I just imagine that Frodo's there. He's laughing. He's shrugging his shoulder, smiling, but not laughing.
Showing face. He's showing face.
Yeah. It just feels that way.
Yeah.
So
sad.
But yeah. But it was good to see Merry and Pippin back, and we are knights of the city and of the mark, as I hope you observe. Okay. So there's so much to tell, right? There's so much catching up to do that they have to kind of that they do kind of go back and forth, and really it's in short. They talk about where they had been, what they had done. The Ent draft comes up.
Yeah.
They can't, it's like Frodo mentions that you can't understand at their age, right? How they've gotten this tall. You have to be 3 inches taller than you ought to be.
Nice little growth spurt.
Yeah. He says, or I'm a dwarf. That you certainly are not, said Gimli. But what did I say? Mortals cannot go drinking at, this Ent draft, right? They can't do it. Right?
How did Gimli know about that?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a legend, lore, or something. I don't know. Where do I get
that?
Some?
That just baffled me.
Where do I get some? That's what I want to know.
You're tall enough, bro. All right.
I could use a few more inches. I can,
Oh, please don't say that.
Okay.
Like, you have to know.
Yeah.
You have to know before it comes out.
Oh boy. So they're wondering too. Actually, you think back, this whole story and this whole journey hasn't been as long as we think it has.
No,
really. And they're even saying in a few more weeks we may see just how, if they're gonna continue to grow, or it just seems like, I don't know, they're gonna size them up.
Is it 13 months that it lasted? I believe. Let me look it up though.
Yeah. Okay. Whew. And they talk about Frodo having to write the book, which is neat. We go back to the there and back again, sort of like Bilbo leaving room for Frodo, which I think is fantastic. That he'll write this story and have the chance to write it, because there for the longest time we didn't think he didn't think he was going to make it back. There would be no return journey, and it's almost everything for Frodo now seems like a chore almost a little bit, and I just feel for him. I just like, man, he wants peace and quiet and rest, and it's good to see these friends and to have this moment here, but I just sense like this never-ending tiredness on him, and it's so sad.
11 months in total. It took 11 months, 1 week, 6 days.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Yep. Okay. So Gandalf, eventually there, after much drink and food and things, he rises and says that the hands of the king are hands of healing, dear friends, he said. But you went to the very brink of death ere he recalled you, putting forth all his power and sent you in to the sweet forgetfulness of sleep. Wow. And though you have indeed slept long and blessedly, still it is now time to sleep again. And so just kind of calling it into the night and saying that we're all still weary and tired, even though it's been however long it's been. It's going to take time to kind of recover and rest and heal from this great darkness. What's up? You see you squinting over there.
That's not right, though, that math. I think it's...
But not.
I think it was only 6 months.
Hey, well, you keep doing math over there. I have no... you're doing it at the wrong hour at night. I'll tell you that much. At
least it's not 3.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, on to bed here. Now you get this little bit about Gimli and Legolas.
Yeah, are you gonna sing this? Because I sang.
Whoa!
Hey!
I have no fella. I've got nothing.
Hey! Nothing I sang. Frodo, the nine fingers.
I got nothing.
And the ring of doom. The children.
What would the tune be
around? I don't know, but all I know is I nailed that. I don't care what anyone says. I nailed that Frodo Nine Fingered song. Like that's going into the annals. Annals. It's going into the annals. You're just going to get an explicit rating.
You truly misspoke. I actually saw that, and I want everyone to know that like you weren't actually making that up. You misspoke.
Annals. I did it again. Annals. Oh my gosh.
Wait,
It's going. That song is going into the annals as. Wait, did I say? Dude, I'm tripping out. Am I saying that word correctly?
Annals.
Yeah.
You're pulling.
It still doesn't sound right.
You're pulling on me right now.
Is this what it feels like?
Yeah, it's
dude.
bad.
That's bewildering.
It's bad. It's bad, man. But anyway, here we go.
Okay.
So, and I, said Legolas, shall walk in the woods. So Gimli's talking about where he's going to go to kind of... go ahead. Huh?
I was giving you an A sharp.
We're not there yet. He's going to walk in the woods of this fair land, which is rest enough in days to come. And my elven, if my elven lord allows, some of our folk shall remove hither. And when we come, it shall be blessed for a while. For a while, a month, a life, 100 years of men. Wow. But Anduin is near, and Anduin leads down to the sea, And then he starts singing his.
We're having
song.
fun, okay, right? So the Anduin lends down to the sea kind of means the same thing as leads down.
Yeah, it does. It worked for me.
I love how you do that, dude.
It worked.
Do you find new meanings? Are you a philologist?
No, and I did not know how to pronounce that word either. By the way, when I was reading in,
it's a weird word.
In
how often
Tom
do we
Shippey's
use it?
Author of the Century book, I had no idea.
Yeah, well, you're doing okay.
He's heading down, and Legolas he's singing away. He's singing away, and so singing Legolas went away down the hill, and I'm not even gonna try to sing that. To the sea.
What? Yeah.
To the sea. The white gulls are crying. I don't know. Yeah. It's way too late.
Come on, man.
No, I got nothing. I don't even know how to keep tuning this.
All right. I'm quitting this journey. You don't sing this song, I'm quitting this journey. I will not do another
I'm not singing this
reread.
whole thing. I don't know, like what do you want me to do? Like to the sea. To the sea.
Well, put a little bit of something into it.
I don't know. I thought I was there. I don't know how to. It's the next part that I don't know how to. The white gulls are crying.
You're doing fine. Just keep going. Except don't speak.
The wind is blowing, and the white foam is flying. West, west away. The round sun is falling. I'm just like speak singing, you know?
Yeah.
It's
kind of hard to follow. Frodo, the nine finger, and the ring of doom.
What?
Wow, I feel like I stumbled on a hit as...
Yeah, I think you did too. Who's the guy? The name of the guy that reads the audio version? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Inglis, isn't it?
Rob Inglis.
Yeah.
I almost said Ralph Bakshi, and I'm like, no, that's the dude who did the animated films.
I love the way he sings some of this stuff.
Do you?
I really do. It seems just kind of.
Do you really?
Like,
or
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How does he sing this one?
I don't remember. That's what I was trying to think. I'm like, what tune did he carry in this? He's
something like that.
He's breathy. Yeah. I think it's something like that.
I want to say that's comparable to most of this.
You've heard it, haven't you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I love those versions.
Yeah.
But I think most of his songs sound like
they're a lot the same. Yeah. They're the same. Yeah, they do often sound like that. Not like that, but they sound.
Oh, say it! Come on,
similar.
I'm not dishonoring you, Rob.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm.
Yeah. The nine fingered. It was a little flat there, wasn't I?
Maybe a little bit. Maybe
find that.
Yeah. Did you think it was interesting where so the field of Cormallen, right, where they're at and they're encamped?
I got a map for you. Have you looked at the map yet?
Yeah. Near Hinneth
Anun.
Yep.
Okay. Yes, Hinneth Anun is where his hidden outpost was.
Awesome. Yes.
Did you get that eyelash out? You want to tell people watching at home what that is?
Just eyelash.
Waking yourself up by pulling your eyelashes out.
Yeah.
Why'd you get defensive when I bring that up?
I'm not defensive at all. Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's just I have something in my eye. It actually hurts. So trying to get it out.
Whew. Is your jetpack running out?
It's gone. I don't have any internet. Yeah.
You can log into mine. I got three stripes.
Okay. All right. I'll do that when you give me the password, I guess. Yeah.
I feel like I've done that a few times.
Okay.
We won't get into that. That's fine.
So Sam's disappointed that he doesn't get to see his Oliphant, right? That was something he heard about these beasts that were out there, and I thought that was kind of interesting. He thought about that before a long time ago, and they do get to see him. He even thinks that he missed out on quite a bit.
Yeah.
Although he himself, I think, went through more than all of them. But he wasn't where the action was, right?
Yeah, he called it.
But he was.
Yeah, he called it a sad loss that so many were, killed.
Yeah, really, because again, I mean,
and really, what did they have to? I mean,
they're just
again enslaved,
and
brought into.
Yeah,
and Sam recognized that. And I love that about Sam.
Right.
Again, like one of those little, I don't know, in between, a moment that never sees any film and it never will. Even if they made a TV show, out of this, that would never be put in there. And I love it. It's a good moment. It's like the Fox kind of in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when it's that sad loss, right? He says, but one can't be everywhere at once, I suppose, he said. But I missed a lot, seemingly. In the meanwhile, the host made ready for the return to Minas Tirith.
Yeah.
So there they go. They're going to go again, and it was mentioned earlier. They're going back for his crowning. So that's where they're heading, and that's where they're going to go.
Yeah. Beautiful description of Minas Tirith here.
Yeah.
I'm saying it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
There was nothing else there. That's all I was going to say.
It is. I was going to say, the Easterlings and like the Southrons, right? Like the mention of them right here at the end. We kind of lost like some of them. We had pity for them in the beginning, and we think of them now. What happens to them, right? What ruin do they go back to, or how do they themselves like sort of reclaim their own lands and heal and stuff like that? I thought that was kind of interesting to think about.
And even
just you feel
Yeah, and even to think about how you said the work's not done, they still have to go cleanse the land and make sure every tower is taken down and every enemy is driven back or subdued or a lot of work to still do.
Yes. Yeah. So that's it.
It's the end, guys.
Yep. And
nice working with you, man.
Good working with you, buddy.
Whew. That's the best handshake we've ever had, honestly.
Probably. Probably.
Frodo, the Nine Fingers. I
don't know if this is going to work or not, but Bywater Post is coming
Ring
up.
Of Doom. Yep, sure is.
Oh, I have to use
Are
my
you
phone.
okay? Oh, they're not in the doc.
They are. There's a link.
Oh,
you have to
cool.
click the link.
All right.
I got to pull them up.
I can get to those, my friend. Yes, Bywater Post, our favorite part of every episode. It is absolutely the best. Let's see here. We have, our first one is from Sandra Wolfhart from Germany. Let me go ahead and read that one.
Yeah.
Sandra writes, "Hey guys, I found your podcast just a few weeks ago, so I'm about a year behind, but I just wanted to thank you for the amazing work and share my story. I always loved reading since I was a kid, and my dad owned some very old copies of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings. He actually got them for finishing his apprenticeship." Wow, cool. I wonder what apprenticeship he had. That's cool. "So I naturally read them quite early, continued to every piece of Tolkien I could find, including the Silmarillion, Beren and Luthien, and all the movies, and I loved it. But I only read it in German, which is my native language, and I always wanted to read the original books. I even tried a few times, but never made it past the Brandywine Bridge due to the complexity of the language." Something we don't even think about, right? Like it's difficult for like native language, English language speakers
to read it. Yeah.
Did I say that correctly?
Yeah.
To read Tolkien because it is such a elevated and like archaic form of English at this point. Not archaic, but historic, I guess, and more formal. Wow, that's crazy. When I found your podcast, I decided to give it another try, and I am happy to report I already made it through the Barrow Downs. Yes,
nice,
Sandra, nice job. That's awesome. I am much in love with the beauty of Tolkien's work and all the details that got lost in this translation, especially all the wonderful songs and poetry. And I think you guys are doing a great job at pointing these things out and singing. Sandra, wait until you get to this episode.
Yeah.
Wait until you get to this episode because I think I finally found my hit. I love to listen to you, and it also really helps me with my English. I wish I had teachers like you when I was at school. Dude, every time that gets me. And I hope you keep up your great work. Lots of love from Germany, and apologies for any mistakes in my English. I couldn't find one, Sandra. It was beautiful. Sandra Wolfhart.
Well, Sandra,
wonderful.
Apologies for all of my mistakes in English.
And for my singing. So I have to apologize too.
No.
It's wild, isn't it, man?
Yeah, it is wild.
Like just sitting here and thinking about Sandra. Sandra is someone we would probably, without this book club, without the magic of the internet, would have never been connected to or heard her story. It's amazing. Like I'm thinking about like the great vision of the Valar.
Yeah.
The great winds, starlight, things that connect all of us. That it's just, dude, it's my. I know we reflect a lot, and especially lately we've been reflecting a lot. But it blows my mind. It humbles me to think that we get to share her story with all of you, and then also get to enjoy it ourselves. Like, and it's out there forever.
Yes, it is.
It's out there as long as podcasts exists.
Yeah.
As long as the internet is firing on all two cylinders here in Amanda and in your corner of the world of Middle Earth, it's there forever. Yeah. And no one can take that away. And I don't know. That's a really cool thing, man. I'm like honored to be a part of it. That's all.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like it is just sort of mind-boggling. Man, it's almost like sometimes I wonder if we shouldn't. Like, I love that we do this at the end, but like you think about reading this, and then I think, okay, it's almost a good thing we read them at the end because like the pressure. Like I feel like we're blessed. We say this a lot, and I feel that's a nice compliment. It's a nice thing to say. And we talk about all the time that there are days we try to be very honest and open and vulnerable and all this kind of stuff, because not every day are we like I feel like sometimes I don't know, like I want to do my best, and it's like it's weird because like I think back to the pressure of Mount Doom. Yeah. And that chapter, and I wanted to make sure I hit everything. I wanted to hit, find every little nugget or whatever. But then I was like, no, it literally is about the search, and that I'm going to sift here, you're going to sift over there, and we'll compare what we find, and somebody else is going to have to come in later and sift. We're going to have to come back to this and sift through it again. And I think that's sort of what gives me peace, I guess, in combing through these chapters and stuff. And so I don't know.
Yeah, beautiful, man.
Thank you, Sandra. Yep. This is awesome. I'd love to get an update too, because I know she sent this a little bit back. I'd love to see where she's at in the series now, because I think this is at least a few months old for sure. Yeah. So, all right. Stefan Byron, I think.
Byrne.
Okay.
Maybe.
Stefan Byrne. Let's see. Sent his in here. Leigh and Ezra. I stumbled across your podcast on Spotify a couple weeks ago, and I am glad that I did. I'm currently on episode 20, Lothlorien, and I'm slowly but surely catching up. First of all, thank you so much for your hard work and effort in putting your podcast together. It has made Lord of the Rings feel fresh and new again. Secondly, I don't know if you're still doing the Tolkien stories as a part of the By Order post, but I wanted to share mine. If nothing else, I hope you enjoy it. Yes, we are. My introduction to Lord of the Rings was during a sleepover my older sister had with some of her friends when I was around 9 or 10. One of my sister's friends brought the Fellowship of the Ring on VHS for us to watch that night. And for whatever reason, my sister let her annoying little brother stick around to watch it. I laugh when I think about it now, but I remember having a hard time sleeping that night because the movie legitimately scared me.
Yeah.
I remember specifically the scene when Gandalf is telling Frodo about the ring, and the scene cuts over to Gollum being tortured in Barad-dûr, right? And I'm sure just some of the orcs throughout the movie, scared me.
Yeah.
Right? Despite this,
Thanks
I was hooked.
to Tammy Lane, right? For sure.
Really. Well done, yeah. I remember I borrowed the VHS of Fellowship, and I watched it over and over before someone finally got me the movie on DVD. I couldn't wait for The Two Towers and The Return of the King to come out. I remember I played The Two Towers and The Return of the King video game that came out corresponding to the movies for hours and hours.
The best games in the history of games.
Yeah.
I love them.
I still boot them up from time to time on the old PS2 just for nostalgia. I don't remember exactly when, but around this time I picked up the books from the library and started working my way through them. It took me months just to get through the Fellowship of the Ring, but I loved it. I also read The Hobbit sometime during this time frame. I don't know how long it took me to get through the entire Lord of the Rings, but between the books and the movies, I fell in love with the world of Tolkien. And since the time I was in high school, I've read The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit nearly every year. Once I got older, I picked up some of Tolkien's other books about the greater mythology of Middle-earth. I've read The Silmarillion a few times, The Children of Húrin, The Unfinished Tales, and I'm actually working my way through Beren and Luthien now. I have The Fall of Gondolin waiting for me when I get a chance to sit down and read it. I wish I had time to explain how much I love Star Wars. So when I say I love Tolkien more, it has a little more impact, right? So I get that. Like, if you could explain your love for one thing, and then say, and I love this other thing more, Yeah. The Lord of the Rings books and movie had a massive impact on my childhood, so much so that when An Unexpected Journey came out, I found myself choking up as Sir Ian Holm narrated the opening lines of The Hobbit and the Shire theme song began to play. As a 20-something-year-old man sitting in that theater, I instantly felt 9 years old again, watching Fellowship for the first time, not knowing that my life was about to change. I read the books during my second deployment to the Middle East, and it felt like having a bit of home with me while I was so far away. I haven't thought about this too much, but I'm sure some part of my motivation for joining the military came from Lord of the Rings and the desire to do my part to fight real evil in the world. All right, finally, a final reason here. Because of Tolkien's faith, there are many biblical themes and images throughout his stories that, as a Christian, I absolutely love. I've read the books and had passages of Scripture come to mind that I imagine, or maybe just hope so, or maybe just hope, Tolkien had in his mind as he wrote these books.
Sure, yeah.
Both of you helped me notice things in these books that I've never noticed before, despite reading them so many times. Again, thank you so much for all the hard work that you put into these podcasts. Your passion and love for this story is evident, and it fuels my own passion and love for this wonderful world Tolkien has created. God bless you, and may the light of Arendelle shine brightly on you. Wow. Thanks, Stefan. That's awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, P.S. My mom was an elementary school teacher for many years, and I just want to thank you all for the hard work you do in teaching kids. Wow. 2 references to teachers, yeah. I know that it can be hard to be a teacher, so thank you. I hope the school year is wonderful for both of you. That's extremely kind. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Stefan. Wow. Amazing story, man. It is crazy. Like, we've seen them so many times that like you kind of get numb to the fact that these can be very scary stories, scary images. The films, especially, you think about that. And what we read, I mean, the stuff we've read is incredibly, scary, frightening, crazy. And I love how he made mention of being taken back to, watching an unexpected journey, being taken back to his 9-year-old self. That it was almost like being transported back to what he felt like the first time he saw the Fellowship.
Yeah.
And how that the emotion that elicits, it's beautiful, man. Wonderful, wonderful. Great story.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Stefan. It's wonderful. Next Tolkien story is from Chris Young. Chris writes, Ez and Lane, recently my job changed, requiring me to travel across the lovely Shire state of Iowa. My wife recommended that I find a podcast to listen to. I typed in LOTR and found you. Whew, that's some magic, huh? Mm-hmm. I'm only on episode 11 and have a ton to catch up on, but you guys are always asking for our stories on how we came to Middle-earth. So here goes. During my 7th grade year, 1983, holiday break, I received a gift from Santa, the box set of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, with a picture attached. Awesome. Mm-hmm. Yep, that holiday, I started an epic journey with Bilbo Baggins and Gandalf that to this day has not ended. I've read the books multiple times over the years and get something new out of them each time. When the movies were released, I was able to attend each one with my father as his Santa gift, is what started me down this path. I cried each movie. The creation of the Fellowship, the despair of Frodo and Sam. I can't read this next line without crying. I'm going to hold it together. And when Aragorn says, "My friends, you bow to no one," are all vivid memories within me after creating what they would look and feel like in my mind the previous years. I return to Middle-earth every 2 to 3 years now, but have found ways to have the story around me every day. I've also attached pics of my Ring of Fire poker table. Oh, sweet. And the framed movie posters on the wall of my movie room in the basement. Just a couple examples of the impact the story carries with me. Your podcast is fantastic, and I truly thank you for giving me yet another chance to have this story influence me daily. You have me so excited to get back into Middle-earth. I'm finally attempting to read the Silmarillion. Yeah, Chris, I'm right there with you, brother.
Nice.
Thanks for the energy. Best wishes to you and your families for giving the podcast to us. Well, thank you, Chris. Oh my gosh.
See those pictures? Yeah, I know. That's awesome.
One poker table to rule them all.
Yeah, that's a legit poker table.
Dear Lord.
I know. I couldn't believe it when I looked. I was like, wow.
Yeah. I love those posters too. They're like the alternate versions. Uh-huh. They weren't the main theatrical. You got them going through. Dude, what is wrong with my memory? The Argonath, Geesh, in the Fellowship. I couldn't think of what that was called. The Two Towers. You got Saruman addressing his forces, raising his white hand. And then you've got the Return of the King that's all in flame, and it looks like the eye, and Aragorn's in the middle. It's great. And then his Tolkien.
Have you seen those
Tolkien
before?
books.
Those posters?
Yes.
Okay, I haven't seen those. Those are cool.
Yep.
I can barely see them, but I get
so many variations.
They're different. I knew they were different. I hadn't seen them.
Yep. Alternate versions. Yes, sir.
Huh. Wow, that's so cool.
Beautiful, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Again, just when you think like, maybe we'll get a Tolkien story that's just, I don't know, no connection here. It's just not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. And one thing, we're not like, I appreciate every single story that comes in. We do. We truly do.
Yeah.
And we want to, we're trying to do 3 and 4 stories now just to kind of get through some of them because we've had so many. And honestly, I got a little nervous the other day because you and I were talking and I was like, there's so many more coming through. And there's so many like people that are coming into the group now.
Oh, it's nuts. Yeah, it's nuts.
It is nuts. And
every day.
Yeah.
And
those people are the ones who are brand new coming in and they're sending us their stories. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, all right, we've got to. So
it's almost too many to keep up with. Like,
yeah.
And I don't mean in a sense of like literally being able to keep up with them. I just mean like to like process all of them. Like
yes.
And that's why this helps too, that we are able to continue to do this every episode because it ties it to a memory. It ties it to an episode that we can look back on, and speaking it out loud for us. I mean, reading it on Facebook or something or through an email is one thing because it's in your mind, but speaking it out loud is something else. And it's crazy, man. I remember when it was every week, every couple of weeks, every month. Do you remember those days?
Yes, I do.
And now we're just like flooded. Like you just uppers, new and old, are coming forward and sharing their stories, and it's beautiful.
And a lot of times, we like we don't read all of those as they come in exactly. At least I don't. I mean, because like we're going to put this in the show and we're going to talk about them and make it more memorable and try to, I mean, it's neat to learn about new members and people who are into the same fandom that we are. Yeah. And I will say this too. I feel very unworthy of some of the compliments that we're given. Oh. I just want everyone to know that because you guys, Lane has said this often, are what make this book club truly. Mm-hmm. And it is not these 2 hobbits.
And you said the same thing, my friend.
Yeah,
you said the same thing.
It's just literally a couple of hobbits who enjoy the movies, had a passion about it in high school and in college, and talked about it and found some joy in it, and so
some merriment.
Yeah, yes, and just would often quote it and stuff. Yeah. So just like you guys, and I think it's cool, and I'm glad though that we're able to at least, if you guys come out here to the party, or you send in your story, or you leave an encouraging remark, or you coach somebody up, you point out something that Tolkien put in his work that no one's ever seen before. And by the way, that can still happen. Mm-hmm. I don't care what people say. Like, it's just a crazy. So
isn't that cool? The possibilities that still remain.
Yes.
And I mean, John Howe is still creating art.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Yes. So to everyone out there, it's just awesome.
You have such beautiful eyes.
Oh,
you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but seriously though, on the whole, you are fading fast, aren't you? And now I've got energy.
Well, that's weird.
But yeah, on the whole, the compliments totally unworthy of. I mean, do they make us feel good? Yes, it's good to hear words of affirmation, but like, not even. You guys are far too generous with your flattery and I know they're sincere, genuine compliments.
Yeah.
But it's just, I mean, the honor is ours. Don't ever question that. It's true.
It is true.
The honor and privilege is ours, and we love it. So whether we're going into Middle Earth or whether we're going into Narnia or whatever it is, getting goofy on appendices or just extra silliness, sometimes you got to break up a chapter with a laugh or two.
Well,
you do.
Sam sure did. Sam sure had a few laughs.
About time he learned something from us.
Yeah.
So
he's laughing at us, I think.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Did you say ass? What did you say?
I said at us. Oh, dude, I like
lattice. So anyway, yes, but thank you. Thank you. We really appreciate it.
I think I switched back over to carbs.
Are you okay, man? All the little men inside you are fighting.
They tried to go back to carbs, and I don't know what's going on.
They're running out.
That's
eat some. You got cheese right there. Eat some cheese.
It doesn't have any carbs.
I guarantee that ends up in the trash because you're gonna go, well, it's been out too long.
No,
we have 2 strawberries with cream. We're backed up with cream here. Okay.
Lord.
We're backed up with cream. One from last week, and then one pertaining to this chapter here.
Yeah.
So we can make them quick if you want.
Okay.
So last week, our hobbits were thinking it was the end of all things, knowing that we know the whole story. That fortunately it isn't the case. But what was a time you thought for sure you were dead meat?
Really? They're just dead. Really?
Yeah, that you were dead.
That I thought, wow. Huh.
Like you thought, hey, this is the end. Like maybe your life flashed before your eyes, or you thought it was going to because something you were confronted with. Oh, I'm a goner. Near death experience, I guess you could say.
Huh.
Maybe not even that dramatic. Maybe just a really, really scary moment. Like mine. Okay, just go for it.
Yeah.
Sarah and I went on a hike this past summer. It's the beginning of the summer. Went out to Clear Creek. Clear Creek is this beautiful gem of the old forest that is out here 15 minutes from Amanda, probably 8 minutes as the crow flies. It's just our backyard essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Cliffs, beautiful, clear, sandy bedded stream that is gorgeous. Old cedar wood and forests and all this kind of stuff, prairies and bamboo and all kinds of wild junk.
Yeah.
Okay. It's hard to talk about.
I know, yeah. I know it actually really is.
Like I feel like puking and crapping my pants every time I talk about it. So anyway,
and I know he's not playing this up because
I and people are going, oh right, Lane, Sasquatch, yeah. I don't know what it was. Okay, I don't know what it is. But to use the words of our beloved Samwise, there was nothing for it, and it's not natural. Okay,
Yeah.
So we were out on a hike, and it was the girls were with Mama and Papa, Sarah's mom and dad, and beginning of summer, it was kind of a rainy, kind of moody day. We're like, let's go out and they said, guys, go out, do whatever you want and take a break and go spend some time together. We're like, we'll go take a hike in Clear Creek. I wish we never would have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Started out great, normal. I was actually trying to find the same trail that Joe Lewis and I had taken maybe like a couple months previously. We went out in like beginning of March last year, and it was real cool. Found a little cone that looked a lot like Weathertop, and just sat there. And he brought his pipes but forgot his lighter, so we pretended to smoke pipes. But it was a great time.
Yeah.
And I was like, we find that same trail because one I hadn't remembered, and I wanted to take Sarah on it.
Yeah.
So we're making our way through. No one else. No one was in the parking lot. No one was on the trail. Great. A serene hike of just the two of us, kind of deal. I'm getting like dry mouth, bro.
Yeah.
So we're walking and nothing. It's a little wet, so that you hear the occasional drop of rain coming through the canopy, and not even rain, just remnants of rain. That watery fall that happens. It sounds like a waterfall. Whatever. So no noise, nothing out of the ordinary, unusual, anything like that. Get to this part. Sarah's walking ahead of me. The trail kind of loops up, and off to the left there's a little bit of a dip, little bit of a valley kind of, but it's real forested, all high canopies, so trunks that you can kind of see through at a distance, and then you can vaguely see often through the brush that there's a ridge that rises. Okay, and we're stopped in our tracks by this sound that I'm not even going to try to repeat, but it happened twice. It came from down in that valley or up on the ridge above. And it was my initial reaction was my hair stood up on end because it was weird. It was loud,
right.
Very loud. Projected at us too, I would say, either that or echoed back.
Right.
And I feel like I'm getting into an appendices. Is this okay that I'm sharing this
You're
much?
fine. Yeah.
All right. And my initial reaction was, okay, we heard the sound, and I thought there's going to be laughter. This is teenagers screwing around and trying to scare us, or just being, goofballs. All right. It was followed by dead silence. No footfalls.
No laughter.
Nothing. And so my initial reaction of, very funny, turned to, oh, blank. And the hair on my, standing up on its end turned into this. I've never felt like I've had to take a bigger dump in my life, dude.
Yeah.
Like diarrhea.
Yeah.
Was
hitting hard
in the pit of my stomach. Just like, go ahead and let it all out because you're screwed.
Yeah.
I felt like something was going to happen. I didn't know what, but it was this primal fear I've never ever felt before.
Right.
And I've not in the woods a lot, but have hiked.
Yeah.
A bit. And Sarah turns back and says, Lane, what was that? And I also knew it was serious because my instinct kicked in to play it cool.
Yeah.
Be like a under control husband and good partner.
Sure.
And I think I said something like, it's just, and I looked out, I was trying to look serious, even though I'm thinking, oh my sweet Lord, I'm just gonna have to jump out and take the death first because we're both dead.
Run, honey.
I'll spare you some time, Sarah, run. But, I'm like, you know what? I'm looking serious out there. I'm like, it's probably just a fox. They make weird sounds, And I could tell from my own stupid voice that she wasn't going to buy it. And she was like, okay, that was a pretty weird sound. We get moving further up. We just were like, let's just keep walking. And I start crapping my brains even more because this path it's leading up and around to that ridge where we heard the sound.
Yeah.
So we're approaching the ridge and then we hear this muffled talking. And I'm like, holy crap. And part of me is like, I listened to too much Sasquatch Chronicles. And I'm like, are we going to hear chatter? Are we going to hear like a mama and a baby, Sasquatch? Like, is that what we're going to hear? Right. We're going to walk up on them eating a person or a deer or something. Like, is that what's going to happen? Is this how it's going to end as?
You heard,
this is how it's going to end.
Yeah. You stumbled across an innocent conversation.
Right.
Between creatures that aren't exposed to,
in a familiar place.
Yep.
But those I'm seeing are changed.
Yep.
It wasn't, thank God. It was two older women who were hiking. But the weird thing is, and at first, as soon as I noticed that they were human and English voices, I was like, all right, that's who we heard. Maybe something weird happened. They fell or something.
Right.
And we actually kind of they were continuing on this ridge as we were approaching it. Yeah. We went ahead of them, said hi, they stopped and took a breath as the crossroads came together. And then they kind of followed us. And I was like thinking, wait a minute. They were over there.
Uh-huh.
They hadn't come to the area where we heard the sound yet.
Right.
Couldn't have been them.
Right. Couldn't have been them. Yeah.
We continued on the path. Didn't see anybody else. Got out to the car. At that point, once we saw them, I was like, Sarah, I didn't want to say it before, but I was really freaked out. Like, I don't know what that was. That probably was not a fox.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway, made it to the car, jetted out.
Did you hear it again?
Didn't hear it again. But that whole way, I mean, I know it's just paranoia, but that whole way back, even though they were kind of behind us and that gave us a little bit of comfort, just not being alone, I was like, it feels like something else is here, man. Yeah. Like something's either watching us or what. I don't.
Would you describe? How would you say that was it?
Well,
like you don't have to mimic it, but like if you could compare it to something else, like what's the closest comparison?
So here's what Sarah thought. Sarah thought it was a baby. Her reaction was, is there a little kid or baby out here screaming?
That's scary.
Yeah.
That's even scarier.
We talked about it.
Once you've said any other time, but not like that's actually really scary.
Yeah, and once we talked about it, I was like, Sarah, I don't know what that was. She said, Lane, I thought it was a kid. Either a little kid who was lost or hurt or a baby or something. Like that's exactly what it sounded like. I was like, why in the world? So it's not often. Usually when you go out on hikes like that in Ohio, all animals, either if they're there, they leave or they hunker down. You don't hear or see anything. You'll occasionally see a deer, right? But during the day on a hike, you don't see any animals. No mammals for sure.
Yeah.
So it was weird.
Huh.
But I honestly, hand to God, thought we were going to die.
Yeah, I remember when you first told me about this, you were scared to death.
And I have not been on a hike out there since. We have not gone out since.
And that's crazy. That's crazy to dissuade you like that. That is actually kind of crazy.
It was scary.
Because I know you like going out there, or you did, and everything, and it was a good time for you. So
I'll stay by the creek. Like by the creek, I feel fine because we're close to the road. I will have to be out there with a large group of people to go hiking again, I think. It was crazy, dude. I mean,
someone's planning on wearing a Squatch costume to the Tally B. Squatch just goes walking in the backyard. Just, yo, Bigfoot, hey. Oh, could you imagine? I could see Phil
Just a bounder coming through.
Yeah.
I'll leave it to one of the Phils. They'll do it. I can see Chase pulling it off, too.
Actually be hysterical.
It would be pretty funny.
Please, someone.
Y'all doing cosplay?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, yeah, sorry.
Yeah. What about you, man?
I don't know. The only time where I think there's two times, and one I think I've told on this podcast. I can't remember. I honestly cannot remember if it was Narnia or wherever it was, but like I think of could have been appendices. I talked about the seeing of sharks. I thought that they were sharks and they were actually dolphins. Never told that story on here?
Oh.
When I was little at Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
And
you've told us somewhere. Maybe it was on.
Pissed myself in the ocean and 10-year-old Ez is out there way deeper than I should have been. People were yelling on the beach, waving.
You thought they were waving to you. You're like, hey.
I thought you told me, get out of there. Like, I really thought I was dead. And I was screaming.
Yeah.
For my life. For my life.
How deep were you?
I was to the point where I could no. So I was swimming. Yeah, in the ocean. Truly swimming.
What in the world?
Again, I was 10. I wasn't it was still other people were parallel to me that could, right? But I could just on my tippy toes feel it, and then sometimes I drift out and I couldn't feel.
Oh, dude, that is not cool.
I was right on the edge.
It's not. I've never gone that deep.
But see where I was shorter. So like it was like now.
I've never gone that deep.
I now will not ever go that
knee
deep
deep.
Again,
That's it.
Ever, because when I turned around and I saw that fin, and I saw the first fin,
jeez.
And then I only saw one, and then when I went back and I looked back, I saw another fin, but it was actually the one had already gone by. It was another one. It was a school of dolphins, or whatever they're called. School pod. Thank you.
School pod. School pod rocks.
Yeah.
They may, dude, here's the other crazy thing.
They may have been chasing away a shark.
They could have been protecting you from something. They do. They do
no
that.
idea. But I was
Dolphins
scared.
are they're like Maiar.
Yeah.
Or elves or Eldar or whatever.
I was scared on my mind.
Heck.
One more quick one,
yeah.
And this is just for people to something to be where. Yeah, I was 18 and we thought we were gonna die. My buddy Matt and my buddy Drew and I were in a car. We were in Drew's car in New York City. Couple of guys, 18 years old, just took off. My mom was a little mad because I just
I'm out of here.
Somebody's 18th birthday. Here we go. It was the summer after we graduated high school. We're going to New York City. We decided to go. Yeah, I don't know have I ever told you this?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we went to New York City.
What part of New York City?
We were in a bad part, and we drove. We were driving ourselves, driving like an Oldsmobile car. And
holy crap!
We missed a turn, and the problem is when you get off the main road, and I did not know this, and you go down. There's a lot of homeless. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Like that.
Or they're like rough areas of New York City.
Yeah. Yes. And there are truly like a lot. Like, and it's terrible, and I don't mean it to be what it is, but they're desperate people too. Okay. And yeah, man, we got stopped. We had people. It was wild. We had a guy. It was totally. I don't care what anybody says. They saw our license plates. They knew that we were not from the area, and we were going down the road. We hung a right. We hung another right. And I was like, all right, we'll hang one more right.
Did you guys have like a GPS or anything?
No, this using maps back in there.
Oh my gosh, dude.
And so I'm like, so we go up. You just go around the block is what we're doing. Yeah. So right, whatever, and we'll make it. Well, we get up there to make that right, and I realized it was a one-way, and we could not make that other right to get back on the main road. And what we had noticed was, as we came down that block or whatever, these guys were running after us. Yeah, they were running after us. And this one guy, the guys who were at the car, they were surrounding the car, leaning up against it or whatever. They took off running towards us, and the other guy pulled out behind us. And then the guys that were in front of us, and again, there's just a ton of people on this street. I've never seen anything like it. When I turned down the street, it was very, very interesting to me, and I don't know. Another car.
Do you know what part of New York you're in?
New something. I gotta look it up on a map. Those guys might remember. They do remember because they would tell the story better than I do. I was driving, okay, and so I had this. I saw this going on behind me, and again, my two buddies are freaking out. They're freaking out, and we saw people huddled around trash cans outside that were burning, and I mean it was we were lost. Yeah. We were truly lost, and I felt bad. I really did. Even when I was on Times Square later on, you just go a few streets back. Just walk down a few streets, and it's awful. And I wish there were more we could do. But I was heading down that way, and then another car, they were yelling ahead, and another car pulled out into the intersection and stopped. Yeah.
Like cut you off?
Cut us off. Oh my stopped gosh, right in the middle of the intersection. And at that
18
point,
years old, bro.
At that point, Matt or Drew or somebody was like, "We've got to get the H out of here." And I was like, so I knew it was a one-way street. They were actually blocking me from going forward and from turning the right way on, turning left on the one-way street.
Holy crap!
I went the opposite way on a one-way, tore off down the one-way, and got back to the main road. And I don't know if I think I hit something. I went up over the curb or something like that, like the little whatever. It wasn't my car. It was Drew's car. And just right up over top of it, boom, tore off down through there. And literally those guys were flipping us the bird, yelling at us and stuff. And I was like, what did we... And again, you don't know what anybody was really wanting or after. Again, it could have been something completely innocent. And
you don't block someone's car, though.
Dude, when the car pulled out in front of us and stopped in the intersection and we couldn't go forward or we could not go up the road,
yikes,
I freaked out.
Yeah, that's scary, bro.
That was about it. I mean, it wasn't like it was... Again, I thought, if anything, if we were getting, I don't know, robbed or something, I don't know. I don't know what was going to happen, really. But it just... Yeah, we were lost. And then, like we turned down through here, and these people were... there was a lot of them running after us.
20, 30?
10 to 12. 10 to 12 people.
Holy crap.
And that was in... Actually, one of them caught up and was tapping on the back of the car, and I was like,
saying anything?
God, what's going on? Oh, they were yelling, cursing. I blacked out. I mean, I was driving like...
Jeez, dude,
I was just like, whoa, because it happened so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, we just turned and we went down, and we were only like two roads back or whatever, trying to make those rights and get back. And I was just like, dang.
Did you guys turn right around and come back to Ohio, or?
No. We stayed in a really sketchy motel that night. We were lost, man. We had no idea what we were doing. And I'm like, this is dumb. I don't know what we're doing. We didn't know where we were at. Wow. Yeah, bunch of idiots trying to make it. And again, it could have been something completely innocent.
Yeah.
And that just shows sort of, how sheltered we were and stuff. We just didn't,
Well, yeah, and plus it was before, I don't know, you
didn't have a cell phone. We didn't have we had one cell phone among us to make a phone call. It was mine, a flip phone with a little antenna, and that was it, man. We had maps, and we were making our way around. It was crazy.
Wow.
But it wasn't that bad. It was just like...
Yeah, sure. I'm sure it was fine.
Just never know.
Okay, and for this week, that's terrifying, dude. For this week, tell about a reunion you had with a friend that you weren't sure you'd ever see again.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to say you.
I don't know.
That coffee shop. I mean, I knew I would see you again.
See, that's where I was saying.
But it was I didn't know when. I didn't know when.
Right. It was unexpected.
We've told that story 100 times. But yeah, that's mine, I think.
Well, yeah, that'd be mine too, I guess. Outside of that, I can't really...
Like good friend. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like not someone, I bumped into someone from high school. I wasn't sure I'd ever see them again. Saw him, said hi. But
I guess that would be
that's
it.
the only one I have.
I guess that would be it. Yeah.
I was, pandering a little bit for that one.
That's it.
What?
I said, that's it.
Taylor.
I'm sorry.
Taylor.
You guys got to listen to the Patreon episode.
Yeah, please go check it out. It's really
You'll understand
funny.
why
there's a video too, actually, right? It's recorded.
Wow, it is. I hope it's still recording.
What if Taylor Swift becomes a patron and listens to your words and goes, I can't believe I ever invited him to that tea party.
I can't believe he mentioned my zit.
And what if she falls in love with you?
I mentioned it in the most
and writes a song about you.
Dude, I mean, who has not had
We're talking about my Mount Doom pimple on my back. Yeah, yeah. But guess what, Jack? You're done for.
I'm just saying. I think she's real. Those theories about her being an alien are not true.
Yeah.
Don't believe them. She's not an alien. She's an angel.
Do you think?
Back off.
Well,
people.
are they the same thing? Do you think this is an example of a time we went a little long on an episode?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Well, yeah.
All right. Well, the haters gonna hate.
Oh, of course. No, thank you for putting up with us.
Yeah, guys. This was a lot of fun, honestly.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
We
just kind of getting goofy for a second.
Getting goofy. What? Getting goofy. That's a good name for a podcast.
Getting goofy.
No, I'm done. I am seriously. Let's go.
How can our friends share the load?
You can share the load by listening to us as you are, and putting up with us.
Sure,
and we thank you for that.
Yeah.
You can also follow the Instagram, Twitter, Facebook page at Uptalkin' Tolkien. I actually almost today, when I was waiting for you guys, I almost went live on Instagram. I'm thinking about doing that more. Is that okay?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I thought it was fun the other day when I was in here. I went live.
You got quite a reaction, bro.
It was just it's cool because we were getting amped for Mount Doom, and then that was pretty neat. So yeah, follow us there, and that would be awesome. Those reviews are honestly super encouraging, and again, we're not worthy of them, but I thank you guys for the reviews on iTunes and stuff. That always does help the podcast, helps us grow, etc. So
yeah, absolutely. On the Facebook, lots of give. On the Instagram, lots of giveaways happening. This is 2020, the year of giving, the year of the giver. And so, yeah, we just gave away a copy of the Hobbit Blu-ray, Unexpected Journey.
I need to post a few things in there
Terry.
to give away.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, so some more awesome things coming out. I don't know.
That will be given away.
Yes. What you do is you like it, you leave a comment, and it's actually Goldberry 90% of the time. I say, Goldberry, can you pick one out? She does, and scrolls through randomly, taps on a name, makes sure that you also liked it, even though you know, yeah. And then, we try to send it to you as soon as possible. Sometimes it's hard. So a little delays here in Amanda because the post office, the only time we can hit it up during a school week is on Saturday morning. Yeah. So if we don't get in on a Saturday morning by 11, we gotta wait until the next weekend.
Well, and also some of you guys are international too. So we love you. We love you. It just takes a sec,
right? That's true.
Get that there. So
yep, it's not like Wi-Fi. All right, time for some Fortnite farewells.
You know what? Are you sure there's not anything else we should be talking about? Is there anything else we should add to this episode?
Why is it short? How long
I think we're a little short on the episode.
Really? How long?
Yeah, dude, it's about an hour and a half.
Nuh-uh.
Just under.
Are you joking me?
Just under an hour and a half.
This feels like one of the longest episodes we've ever done.
It is. I'm kidding. 2 hours and 50 minutes. Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead. Yeah.
We want to thank you for spending 3 hours with us.
Yeah.
And getting a little rest, relaxation, and rejuvenation in the fields of Cormallen. Next time, we'll be witness to a crown and a coronation. And the steward and the king.
Yep.
Chapter 5.
Awesome. If you like our podcast, don't forget to subscribe, like us, write a review, leave a comment, or send us a Shadowfax.
We'll see you in a fortnight, and remember, Frodo lives. I'm just going to share the greatest song currently echoing through Middle-earth at 1:40 in the morning. Frodo, the nine-fingered and the ring of doom, Sit back as I tell you a tale that you will soon love.